Okay, let's start the class here. We will do the recap from chapter 1 and until chapter 5, but I don't think so we can continue until chapter 5 later lah, because the Mandarin class in the morning just now, I extend even one half an hour, extend it up to 3 hours in total. I still cannot finish the lecture. But it's okay. Let us try as much as possible lah, huh? Okay, let's go through some theory part in chapter 1 first. Page number 2. Okay, for page number 2, the Kitaran per accountant, for those students who attended the class before, actually we ran through this before. But let me recap a little bit. What are we going to learn in all this chapter first, especially the focus in our midterm, chapter 3, chapter 4, and chapter 5. Okay, then Kitaran per accountant, Kitaran means a cycle. We can so call as the accounting process. Okay, we will start from document first because when we want to record any transaction, you need the source of your information first. You need the proof of a transaction first because previously, I think we mentioned about audit, right? Someone who to verify the account to check any wrong with the accounts. If you want to check any wrong with the accounts, you need the reference first, mah. You need the source to refer what went wrong, anything that you recorded wrongly, anything that you calculated wrongly. You need the base first. The base will be our document. For example, the receipt lah, the order list lah, the invoice lah, all those documents that we learned before. But out of all these documents, there might be a mountains of documents, maybe thousands pages of document. But from documents itself, there might have a lot of information like product details, product naming, product numbering that you don't need at all. What we need is only the important information like the date of the transaction, the value that we need to pay, how to pay, who is the seller, who is the buyer. That's it. So from all this information, tons of documents here, what we want is the key information only. So we are going to list down all those keynotes into our notebook. We call it as buku catatan pertama. Short form, we call it as BCP. You can imagine it's something like your buku nota for account lah, because your buku text account, the whole books of buku text, you cannot memorize everything, right? You need to jot down the key point, buat your buku nota by your own. We call it as buku catatan pertama in account lah. List out all the note first. Then you will need to categorize the notes like chapter 1, you have chapter 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and maybe what's the importance of blah, 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 that you need to group it together, easier for you to memorize, right? So after you list out all the raw information, you will need to arrange and categorize your information into your ledger. In account, we call it as ledger in bentuk T, in account form, in a T form. Okay, so after your ledger, you have categorized the transaction already, then you'll be able to know how much the total for every different kind of transaction. Let's say, I want to know how much is my total sales of this year. So I will need to have an account called as Jalan. Everything regarding to the Jalan, I will put into this account Jalan. So if I want to know how much is the total of my Jalan, I will straight away get it here. For example, another one, Jalan. Okay, you got Jalan secara credit means the sell haven't received the money yet. We call it as account belum terima. So we have another account called as ABT, means whatever ABT record into ABT account. So this called as categorization of the transaction to know that how much total for every different kind of transaction. Okay, but then although you categorize the transaction already, there might be a lot of different kinds of transaction happen in the company. It will cost, there might be still a lot of pages of ledger. And when you want to do the report, prepare the report to calculate the profit and loss for the boss, you can't every time flip the pages, every pages to look for the total, right? Although you simplify the works from thousands pages into maybe 100 pages, into another 100 pages, but 100 pages is still difficult, it's still troublesome for you to flip every single page. So you are going to list out all the total for these 100 pages, summarize it into a list of total. We call it as imbangan juga. That means from 1,000 pages, make it become 100 pages, but raw information here, categorize into another 100 pages of category. Then from 100 pages, summarize, list out everything into 1 or 2 pages only. So that's the process that we are going through from document until imbangan juga. That normally the question will combine all these 4 chapters into one question, totally 25 marks. So it will be a heavy topic. It will be only already cover almost half of the syllabus in Form 4 already. That's why it is very taking time for us to go through the questions whenever we go through the chapter 5, chapter 6 all together. But it's okay. Let us try as much as possible Okay, after you get your list of account ready, but this is only the list of total of transaction. You can't know whether it's profit or loss by using this list. You need to use this list account value, put it into a report according to the format to calculate your profit and loss, to calculate how much money you have left in the company. We call it as penyata kewangan. You got 2 reports here, APO and PAK. And this is the report that you will need to send to your boss, present to your boss that how much profit and loss, how much money in the company lah. That means the previous steps all will be only used by accountant. Only penyata kewangan is the report that accountant prepare for the boss. Okay, so finally, you have done your report already. You know what is the company performance already. But after you prepare the report, maybe there might be some delay transaction. Like for example, your customer suddenly gone already. You are supposed to receive money in this year, but after you prepare the report, after you finalize everything, you only find out that the customer is gone. Maybe passed away already. That you need to adjust the figure lah. But there's nothing wrong because it can't be wrong that someone passed away after you prepare the report, right? So nobody to blame because there's no mistake at all. It's just a late adjustment that you need to update your figure. The adjustment we call it as pelarasan. So remember, pelarasan is kind of adjustment. It's not an error. It's not a mistake at all. So after you have adjust the the late transaction already, that means your imbangan duga value is not updated already, right? It's outdated. So you need to update your imbangan duga. We call it as imbangan duga terselaras. That means you're not going to redo your penyata kewangan lah. It's just that you need to, based on the updated list, update your penyata kewangan. That's it. Then the catatan penutupan, this one normally we forget about this because we will learn how to close all the accounts. Example for BCP, for ledger, imbangan, tuga, pelarasan, penyata kewangan, every chapter one by one. There's no standalone topic for this lah. So this one ignore first. Okay, so this is the flow. We are going to learn in Form 4 that we are going to go through this flow to prepare the final report together with the updated adjustment. Okay, so this part will be only come out in objective question. So you need to understand the logic. What are we going to do for all the steps? But don't need to memorize the steps because it's only come out in paper 1 mah. Okay, so if you see here, as you see here, we got a lot of notes here, right? Okay, so don't need to worry to rush to copy the note first because it's seminar. I wish to cover as much as possible. So it will be a little bit faster pace. So it's okay that you cannot copy down the notes. You can take picture later lah. Okay, I will go through a little bit of important points, important notes for every single chapter, especially chapter 3 until chapter 5. Then for detail part, we will go through it later by using the question. Okay, the first one, document. Document will have actually two copies. Majority of the documents lah. Okay, for example, I draw the example here in case anybody here don't have any idea yet. Okay, so let's say I don't think you saw people who write receipt before already, right? Because normally now everybody go for digital, so you can't really see someone who handwrite on the receipt, handwrite on paper. Okay, but for last time no digital era. Actually, we need to handwrite our receipt. Okay, it will be having a book of receipt or having a book of document. Then you flip the pages, get one page out of it. Then you have a white paper copy. We call it as original copy asal. Asal means original lah. This is the original copy that we should handwriting on it. This is our first copy. But when you write on the first copy, we write on the one copy, you will actually get two copies. How? By writing on the first copy on top of another paper underneath it. Some people call it as carbon paper, means a paper with carbon lah. That means if you write on the paper on top of it, through this carbon paper, you will have the writing printed on the second paper below it also. We will get the second copy. So this called as we got two copy for majority of the documents lah. Okay, then the original copy, the first copy, it is with our original handwriting, right? That's why we call it as asal. But second copy, it is only imprint by using the carbon paper. So the writing sometimes, if you didn't write it properly, there might be some blur writing there. Maybe the paper is not that good quality yet. So we call it as second copy, salinan. That means majority of the transaction, majority of the documents, we have two copies. Why we need to have two copies? Because one of it we will keep it, another one we give it to the customer. Okay, so we heard about there's a phrase that customer is the king, right? Because in this era also, you will also worry that the customer might complain through social media. So you want to secure your reputation, secure your image. Normally, you will give the best copy to the customer to give them the best experience, right? Okay, so if we got asal, we got salinan, seems like who is the one to get the asal copy? Pembeli or pembekal? Who is the one who get the best copy, asal copy? Pembeli or pembekal? Hello?
Pembeli.
Who is it?
Priyanka.
Who will get the original copy, the asal copy? Pembeli or pembekal?
Pembeli.
Anyone answer it? Yes, pembeli, because customer. Sorry, I need to mute you because I'm recording the video for replay also. So you will need to reply me, answer my question by using the text. Right, pembeli will always get the best copy, which is the original handwriting copy, asal copy. That means whenever we are having asal copy, means we are pembeli. If we are getting salinan copy, the second copy, which is the poorer copy, we are the pembekal. Because the seller know the transaction already. We only keep it for reference. So don't need keep the best copy, like the best copy, give it to customer lah. So this is the very basic, the most basic fundamental item that you need to know first to secure your answer first. Because if you get anything wrong from document here, recorded wrongly into BCP, you will get wrong in ledger and imbangan juga also. That means one mistake can lead to few marks lost already. So be careful. Okay, that's the very first concept that you need to understand first. Then for document wise, actually we got two main category. We got document sumber and document bukan sumber. I guess you all know what meant by sumber, right? Sumber means source of information. Bukan means not lah, not source of information. Okay. Just now you mentioned document penjagaan is a source of information for us to record into account. So seems like we are going to focus more on sumber or bukan sumber. Sumber bukan sumber. Seems like we are focused more on sumber bukan sumber. Hello? Because this is seminar, I need to cover as much topic as possible. So I need your cooperation to answer the question faster a bit. Okay. So we are going to get the information from the source of document. So where are we going to get information? From document sumber or bukan sumber? Which one? From sumber or bukan sumber? Yes, that means we are going to focus more on document sumber because we are going to record the information from there. Then what meant by bukan sumber? Bukan sumber is only for reference purpose. For example, menu, the catalog. For example, the last year report. Okay, let's say for the menu lah. When you want to buy any milk tea, you want to order any Starbucks coffee, you will have a menu display on the counter, at the counter there. Then you refer to there to make your order, right? So that's just a paper, that's just a board showing the list of product available together with the price. Only for reference only. There's no transaction happen yet. That's why bukan sumber is only for reference purpose. We will focus more on sumber. For document sumber, as what we learned before, if not mistaken, I think we got totally 18 documents that we are going to record. But out of the 18 documents, I cannot go through one by one again for you lah. I will go through the detail when we go through the question later. I will only list out the important ones, especially most confusing one, list out here to make sure you have the idea first. Okay. Then before we go through document, for transaction wise, for payment wise, we're actually having two different kinds of method. First one is I buy now, pay money now. Everything settled on the spot. No late payment at all. Another one is I buy now, pay later. I sell now and receive money later also. We call that as secara tunai or secara credit. So now my question is, if I settle on the spot, payment on the spot, payment immediately, we call it as secara tunai or secara credit. Yes, secara tunai because tunai means money, right? Whenever we have tunai, that means whenever we have money, that means we got the money on the spot already, everything settled. So there's only one document having the term of tunai here, which is referring to secara tunai. That means only bill tunai is referring to secara tunai. Other than that, no way. Okay, then if we buy haven't paid, sell haven't received money, we call it as secara credit. Then we cannot call it as receipt, we cannot call it as invoice anymore, we cannot call it as bill to net anymore. Okay, then the first document when we have secara credit, it will be invoice. Because if we buy something but you haven't paid, you pay later or maybe in future, you might tend to forget about the details of payment, right? That means you need a document for you to as a reference to refer who to you pay, how much should you pay, when to pay. That document we call it as invoice. That means if you have invoice, means you haven't paid, haven't received money at all. That means we call it as a shadow credit lah. But after you get the invoice already, is it possible you send out invoice? 2 days later, you find out that you kurang charge or you lebih charge. You want to do some adjustment on the invoice. Is it possible for you to collect back the invoice from the customer and then do the correction, resend it back to them? No, right? So you will need to use either nota debit or nota credit, update the adjustment. That means only invoice, nota debit, nota credit, only three of them are secara credit. Because is it possible for you to ask your customer to pay more after they made the payment already? No, right? So you can only do the adjustment before you get any payment at all. Okay, so remember, there's only three documents referring to secara credit, which is invoice, nota debit, nota credit for secara credit. Okay, now, nota debit add or minus, especially for those who attended the class before. Nota debit is to add, nota credit is to minus. Why? Okay, then we will need to relate it to the system Triton Bergu in chapter 5. So I jump a little bit. For system Triton Bergu, Bergu that means 2 times. What meant by 2 times? Because system Triton Bergu is actually splitting the account into left and right hand side. Split it into T shape. Okay, T shape means yes, you need to record 2 times. Okay, why? Okay, let's say we split the report into left and right hand side. And according to this system shorthand Bergu, we always need to make sure debit equals to credit. That means if I want to make sure debit equals to credit, left hand side equals to right hand side. If I recorded 50 in debit side, do I need to record another 50 in credit? Yes or no? To make sure debit credit the same, should I record another 50 in credit side? Yes or no? Yes, that's why every single transaction we need to record at least twice. Make sure debit and credit recorded the same value in total. Okay, so that's we call it a system shorthand Bergu that we will emphasize very specifically in ledger topic T-shape. So ledger, actually we always call it as account also. This is official account. That means the previous topic document BCP is not preparing account yet. Account will be only prepared by using T-shape. That means only T-shape means we are preparing account. If you are not preparing T-shape, that means you are not preparing account yet. Then just now we mentioned T-shape splitting your account into left and right hand side, right? Left hand side we call it as debit. Right hand side we call it as credit. But don't memorize that debit to add, credit to minus. No, no way. Because debit is just left hand side. It can be add, it can be minus. Credit only represent for the right hand side. It can be add, it can be minus also. So debit is just debit, credit is just credit. That's it. No add or minus at all. Okay, then we will need to recap the system shorthand Bergu first lah. But before system shorthand Bergu, we need to list out the classification first law. Okay, we have totally 5 classification. Asset A for asset. Asset means property, whatever belongs to the company, including your car, your lorry, your shop, your office, your factory, your money, your investment, your saving, your product, anything that belongs to you that you can keep, we also call it as asset. Then L for liability. Liability means your debts. In Malay, we call it as hutang lah. Debts means you should pay, but you haven't paid. You're owing. Only there's a condition that we know that we should pay, but we haven't paid. We have something owing, we have debts to other, then we can only call it as liability. Other than that, cannot. Equity per milik, short form EP. We can call it as something like the fund to run the business because no fund can you run any business, no, right? Okay, then hasil, H, income. Whenever we receive anything, not necessarily should be money lah. Anything that you receive, anything that you're getting, it will be hasil. Then in opposite way, belanja, I will call it as BBO. In opposite way, belanja means your spending law, your expenses. That means anything that you're giving up, we call it as belanja. But anything that you receive in, it will be your hasil. So we have totally 5 classification here. Asset, liability, EP, hasil, belanja here. That you are going to arrange all these 5 items into either debit or credit side. How to arrange? No matter what's the scenario, what's the situation, what's the transaction, how to find out debit and credit, always referring to these 3 sentences. Yes, ABCD. ABCD, A stand for asset, B stand for belanja, C, you saw it in smaller letter, right? Because there's no function for it. The function of it is just to link the sentence only. D stand for debit. That means only asset and belanja in debit. So you settle out 2 out of the 5 already. So the rest, it will be all in credit side. Hasil, liability, EP will be in credit side. So very easy for you to understand. Very easy for you to remember when to debit, when to credit, right? Okay, so sorry. This is what to debit, what to credit. Now, that will have more situation, whether add or minus lah, whether balance first day of the month or last day of the month lah. Okay, so second sentence, whenever increase, you need to remain it. to the original place. Don't need to change the site. If it is to add, remain. We call it as original place. If decrease, then you only put it into opposite side. How it works? For example, asset originally debit, right? So if asset add, remain debit. But when asset minus, then you need to move to another side, put it in credit side. If hustle, originally credit side. If add, remain, no changes. But if hustle minus, then put it into debit. Okay, then the last sentence, Baki BB, Baki HB. What meant by Baki? Baki in English, we call it as balance. For example, if you're running an existing business, last month, definitely you will have some portion of money that you haven't used up. You might have some portion of product that you haven't sold it out yet. You might have some of might have buildings that is still there that belongs to the company that you're going to use in this month and moving onwards also. So we are going to carry last month balance into this month, continue to use it. That's why we call it as Baki lah. Okay, then we have Baki BB and Baki HB. You know the sequence of the alphabet already, right? From A to Z, right? You will have B, then only will be H. So BB, Baki BB is Baki on the first day of the period. First day of the month, first day of the year. Baki HB, it will be the Baki, the balance on last day of the period, last day of the month, last day of the year. So know how to differentiate Baki BB, Baki HB already, yeah? Then next, Baki BB will need to record into original place. Baki HB will need to record into opposite side. For example, belanja. Belanja originally debit side, right? If Baki BB remain, it's still debit. But when belanja Baki HB, then you need to move to opposite side, become credit side already. It's similar as the add and minus how it works lah. Provided you remember Baki BB is for the first day, Baki HB is for the last day. Okay, so now we're done for chapter 5, the basic here. And remember, always need to remember this basic because you need to use this basic foundation across the syllabus for Form 4 and Form 5. Even in college, even after you graduate work as accountant also. As long as you remember these 3 sentences, you can find debit or credit in any situation, any transaction. Okay, so now let us apply this logic to understand debit, credit, invoice just now to add or minus. Okay, the invoice concept, invoice means a general credit. That means you buy, haven't paid, you sell, haven't received money. That means you buy now, receive money later. You sell now, receive money later. So I also can call it as, it will tell me my money in future, right? Because it's either I need to pay in future, I will receive money in future, right? So indirectly, it tells us our money in future. Okay, our money in future, money, okay, remember that concept, money, as long as your money, no matter where you keep it into the bank, keep it in the office, keep it with your customer, keep it with your landlord, keep it with other investment fund, keep it in other company, as long as it is still your own money, it is still your asset semasa. Asset means your money lah, your property semasa means it will be keep it less than a year because the money will change value very frequently in a year. We call it as asset semasa. So now tell me, asset semasa by right debit or credit? Asset semasa originally should be in debit or credit? Asset semasa, hello? According to this system charter group, yes, it's supposed to be in debit. So when your money increase, debit or credit? When AS increase, debit. When AS decrease, credit. So it is related to your nota debit and nota credit, right? Because just now I mentioned asset increase debit. So if I want to add charges, I will use nota debit. If I want to minus charges, I will use nota credit. That's how you can recognize nota debit, nota credit to add or minus. Because it will affect how to you to record into your BCP later. Okay, then now, most confusing part, makluman debit, makluman credit. Can you tell me makluman? Okay, makluman means inform. Normally, accountant is the one to prepare most of the document. I think can all of the document lah, except makluman only. Why? Because makluman means inform. If accountant is the one to prepare all the documents, I can say that accountant should be the one know the best of all the transaction, right? So is it possible for accountant purposely prepare makluman to inform himself about the transaction? Is it possible? No, right? So it is not prepared by accountant. Instead, who is the one prepare the makluman? Who prepare makluman? Who is it? Not prepared by accountant. Instead, it is prepared by bank. Yes, bank is the one to send us this copy to inform us we get extra money or we paid some money to outsider. Okay. But is it possible for the bank to hire accountant purposely to prepare the document for you? No way, right? So there won't no any klasifikasi, there won't no any system catatan bagu at all. So they will make everything in opposite way. That means nota debit to add. How about makluman debit? If nota debit to add, then makluman debit is to minus. If nota credit is to minus, makluman credit is to add. Okay, so make clear this first. We will need to use it for the question later. Okay, done for remark in chapter 3. Then chapter 4. Chapter 4, we have BCP. BCP is something like buku nota for account lah. Okay, we have 4 here. Jurnal am, jurnal khas, buku tunai reject. Okay, although we have 4 buku nota here, but we're always having a flow, a checkpoint step by step to see what's the transaction for individual BCP. Okay, if you attended the class before, I teach you the flow already, right? The standard steps already, right? Out of the 4 BCP, whenever you have any transaction, any document, which is your first consider option? Which one? Which is your first checkpoint? Jurnal am, jurnal khas, buku tunai reject. Yes, buku tunai first. Because we will start from the easiest one. Because buku tunai means referring to money, right? Money is either you keep the cash in the office or you keep it in the bank. That means when you see bank and tunai, when you see pay money, receive money, then you can only record into buku tunai. If no, then cannot lah. Okay. Then if you pay money, receive money, record into buku tunai. But how about for small money? Like you buy stamp, you buy eraser, you buy stapler, you cannot record into buku tunai because buku tunai is only for normal value of money. If smaller value, yes, we put it into buku tunai ringgit. So buku tunai ringgit will be your second option, second checkpoint. But it's still talking about money, right? So also the same lah. It's talking about tunai ringgit, smaller amount of money only. But actually both of the two actually almost the same. As long as you pay money, receive money, you should record into these 2 accounts, these 2 report. But if it is bigger money, then buku tunai. If it is smaller money, then buku tunai ringgit. How to identify, how to know that, how to recognize it is big money or small money? Normally, whenever it is below 100, we call it as tunai ringgit. But provided there is buku tunai ringgit. Why? Because remember buku tunai ringgit. Ringgit means small money, right? Small expenses. And in the month, you might have a lot of different kind of small expenses. You buy eraser, you buy pen, you buy stamp, you pay for Milo to belanja your stuff. All those small money. You got a lot of expenses, this kind of small money. 150 for buku tunai ringgit. Depending on the amount in your buku tunai ringgit. Let's say if your buku tunai ringgit, the tabung there the fund there, there's only 200, and you got more expenses other than this 150. Do you think we should record the 150 there? Do you think? You got only 200 fund in the buku tunai ringgit, huh? If you have 200 in the tabung only, in the buku tunai ringgit only, and you straight away spend 150, some more you got more other small expenses. So do you have enough money to spend moving onwards in this month? No, right? So then you cannot record lor. You need some logical thinking lah. Okay, so what we meant by this? We meant this by system panja. Why? Because is it possible for you to every time spending those small expenses, keep on asking your boss, boss, pay money lah, pay money, pay money, pay money for eraser, pay money for stapler, pay money for A4 paper? Is it frequently? Is it possible that you keep asking your boss, pay this all small expenses in the month? No, right? Very troublesome, right? So you're going to apply system panja. System panja means instead of keep asking your boss to spend all these small expenses every time, every month you just ask your boss for one time for the budget, let's say 200. Then you get that 200 into your buku tunai ringgit. In that month itself, you are going to spend money by using this 200 only. That means every month you only ask the boss for one time money for buku tunai ringgit, especially on first day of the month. We call it assistant panja. Then in the next month, if there's not enough fund anymore, cover back the money until become 200. Means make sure you have 200 every first day of the month. If the question mentioned 200 lah. Okay. So back to here. Whenever you pay money, receive money, you can only consider buku tunai ringgit, and this will be your first group of consider. Then if bigger money, buku tunai. If smaller money, buku tunai ringgit. But no matter bigger or small money lah, it is still your money, right? Your money always considered as asset semasa, right? So again, whenever you receive money, your money is getting more. When money getting more, debit law. If you pay money, money is getting less. AS getting less, then you record into credit. That's it. That's it for buku tunai ringgit. Quite easy, right? Okay, so after you have checked, there's no money paid, no money received, then you cannot record for buku tunai ringgit, right? Then you only consider which one? If checking done not for buku tunai ringgit, yes, then you need to check whether it is for journal khas or not. It will be your third consider. Because journal khas, you have two specific requirement. That's why we call it as journal khas ma. What are the two requirements for journal khas? Inventory and yes, secara credit. Inventory means your product lah. Secara credit means you haven't paid money, haven't received money. So when you want to record in the journal has provided meeting two requirements at the same time. Both are not either one. You must meet both to record into journal has. Means either you buy your product, haven't paid money, or you sell your product, haven't received money yet. Then you can only record into your journal has. Then how about if we are buying something but not inventory and we haven't paid? Can we still record into journal has? If you buy anything other than our product, although we haven't paid, we still cannot record into journal has. Okay, then when you checking done, yes, confirm can record into journal has. You need to split lah into belian, jualan, or pulangan, jualan. For belian and jualan, you understand, right? It's either you buy haven't pay or you sell haven't received money. But pulangan means return. What meant by return is something like if I sell 100 ringgit item to you, 2 days later you find out some defective item, you return 30 ringgit item to me. How much you are going to pay? You bought 100 ringgit item before and now you return 30 ringgit item. How much you need to pay in balance? 70, right? So pulangan only having one impact, to add or minus. minus, because you will pay less if you are the one to return. If you are the one to sell, customer return back the item to us, you are going to receive lesser money also, right? So pulangan will only referring to minus. That means if you see inventory secara credit, provided that is minus, then you can only consider pulangan. But if inventory secara credit, there's no minus, then you cannot consider pulangan. You can only put into bulan and jualan. If invoice is nota debit, cannot put. Yeah, correct. Because invoice is just telling how much we need to pay in future ma. There's no minus. Nota debit also no minus. Instead, it is to add. So these two record into normal journal, bulan and jalan. That means shortcut way in summary the tips. Nota credit can be only pulangan because only nota credit to minus ma. Okay. So after you checking, can record in the journal has, then leave it here. But if, for example, just now we mentioned, if we buy something other than product, but although haven't paid, we still cannot record in the journal has. And also haven't paid, cannot record in the buku tunai ringgit. Then, no choice. You have to throw the things into your rubbish bin, we call it as. The rubbish bin, the tong sampah, we call it as. Journal. So that's how we figure out the flow to confirm where to record. Tong sampah, what's the sampah to keep it here? For example, just now we mentioned, you buy anything other than product but you haven't paid. And also, when the boss bring in item, modal, bring in item. I didn't say it's money, right? We didn't mention that we buy haven't paid, sell haven't received money, right? So record in the journal lah, no other place to go. And instead, if it is old company, you will have Baki that we mentioned just now. Baki is just an action bring forward last month balance, last month leftover into this month. Can you record in the buku tunai ringgit? No, because it not necessarily should be money, right? Can you record the journal house? No, because they never mention you buy haven't paid, sell haven't received money ma. It just you carry last month balance into this month. So you will need to record the Baki BB here also. These are the example of the sampah that you need to keep it here lah. Okay, so for those who need to take picture, okay, you can take picture now. Okay. For upper PKK, right, actually we learned the format in chapter 2, but I can't repeat to explain the format again and again because it's too time consuming. I think we took 1 hour to explain about it. So for the notes, for those who need the notes, I will show you the picture later. You can take picture later, huh? Okay, now let us move to the balance part, the leftover part for the chapter 1. I try to simplify those information that you might need to memorize lah, ha. Okay, sejarah perakaunan for sejarah 1, ha, I can finish in few minutes because what you need to remember is only the history of the T-shape. Remember the T-shape? Just now we mentioned a system threatened by right? Left hand side, we call it as debit. Right hand side, we call it as credit. And remember, which are the two klasifikasi in debit? Which are the two klasifikasi in debit? We got asset, liability, EP, hasil belanja. We got 5 out of the 5. Which are the two in debit side? Asset and belanja. Because A, B, C, D, am I right? Yeah, very easy to understand. And just now we mentioned, this T-shape is one of the most important things that whenever you do any accounting, when you do account also. So since this is the most important item for us, so the sejarah only matter about this one. So the question will only ask you who found it, where found it, then how he found it, what's the book name, that's it. And it will only come out in objective question. So don't need to memorize, you just need to recognize the term will do. So the first point, who is the one to find this system. He's Luca Pacioli. First point. Secondly, since he is the one to find out the most important thing for account, so we call him as Bapa per accountant also. Okay, where he found it? Venice, Italy. How he found it? Okay, this is the most important and most tricky part. How he found it? He found it from a book. And the question will normally, okay, in objective question now, this is the one of the most popular question for sejarah. Okay. There will be an question asking how he found it out, where he found it out. Option A, B, C, D. There must be an option called as buku perakaunan. Another one is buku matematik. In this case, always remember what you pick should be buku matematik because this guy is actually mathematician, not who study account. No, and he has nothing to do with account at all. He is doing mathematics. So remember, whenever you have this kind of question, pick buku matematik. So I put it into highlight. Okay, then what's the name of the book? Don't need to memorize the book name because there's no way for you to memorize the book. What you need to do is just roughly recognize the term. Geometrica, arithmetica, something like that. Extra. Okay, so that's the 5 points for your sejarah perakaunan. Okay, for those who want to take picture, you can take picture now. Okay, then the next page. This one, badan-badan perakaunan. What's the organisasi? What's the job of the organisasi? You want to memorize, right? They don't need, just need to recognize the job by using the keyword from the short form name. Because also come up in objective question only. Okay, then MIA, use the I. I is standing for institute, school. What school will do? School will do exercise law, teaching law, and exam law. Quite easy to understand, right? Quite easy to remember, right? Okay, then Lembaga Piawaian Perkaunan Malaysia. The long name, no way for you to remember. Even I also cannot remember the full name. Just recognize the short form name will do. MASP, we're going to use the S. S stand for standard. So any term referring to standard like piawaian, garis panduan, then your answer should be MASP. Okay, then number 3, MICPA. MICPA, we are going to use the I. I still stand for institute. It still stand for school. Huh? Then it will be clash with the first one, right? No worries. MICPA, we have another 2 more alphabet, right? Longer name, that means got more jobs. Research and development, penyelidikan dan pembangunan. What meant by this one? For example, just now we mentioned school is going to teach. School is going to teach by using the textbook. That means school is not the one to write the textbook. Should be the government write the textbook, right? Okay. So who is the government to write the textbook? Should be MICPA. Why? Because he need to study the textbook to make sure it updated to the trend. For example, we got AI now. 10 years ago, there's no AI, right? So imagine if you use the old textbook things 10 years ago to now, everything will be outdated already, right? So for this organization, they will need to study the trend now to see whether we need to update the textbook. Then we only pass it to MIA for teaching. We call it as R&D lah, research and development lah. SEMA, we use the M. M stand for management. So if you see any term relating to management like pengurusan, pendapatan, then it will be SEMA. Last one, ACCA. You got double C here. The double C stand for club. Club will have member, right? So you will see ahli here. But the key point here is the member will be the student also. Because ACCA is not the club like a swimming club, the sport club, the activity club. No, it is something like a study club for accounts. It provides those professional course and professional exam. So for the members in SCCA, they will be at the same time also the student. So if you see any ahli, let's say MIA, you see ahli here. Other, you might see ahli also. But only SCCA will having ahli together become your pelajar also. Okay? Then that's how the tricks, how you recognize these to answer paper one. Okay? Take picture time. Okay, done. The last part of topic one, chapter one. Andaian prinsip batasan. Okay, this is the most popular for chapter one that always come up in every exam, even in the SPM also. And I do have question about this kind of this part here, but it's okay. I will teach you how to tackle, how to find out the keyword from the scenario, from the sentence given in the question to answer your question. But make sure one thing first. Make clear one thing first. We have andaian, prinsip batasan, but your answer in that scenario, in that kind of question, not to answer andaian, prinsip batasan, no. So I purposely put a cross before these three terms. Your answer in the question should be out of the 8 items here. Make clear that first. Otherwise, everything wrong. And for the batasan per account, I think they forgot to mention about the term. It is cost manfaat. So remember your answer should be out of the out of the 8 items here. Not the 3 terms there. What andaian prinsip batasan no. Out of the 8 items here. Okay, then let us go to the easiest one, the batasan per account. Batasan means challenge. What's the challenge of your business? To earn more money lah. The main goal of your business is to earn more money mah. Earn more money by using the lowest cost. So if you see the sentence in the question given that pemilik untuk meningkatkan keuntungan blah 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 untuk menambahkan keuntungan, there will be a phrase that the boss want to increase, want to maximize the profit, and they have two choices. Maybe either open branches or maybe expand the existing shop. But no matter how, the main goal to choose to pick the option is always to meningkatkan keuntungan, to increase your profit. Then that's a situation that you need to answer cost manfaat. Okay. Then andaian. Andaian means assumption. The assumption means if you are running business, you should blah blah. You should what you should do, what you should not do. It will be called as andaian. Okay, then we have 4 andaian here. Entity berasingan is you see here, the highlight word is asing. Asing means split, separate. We will separate the boss from the company. Why? Because can companies simply use boss money to buy product? Is it possible? Companies simply use boss money to buy product? No, okay. Then in opposite way, is it possible for boss simply use company money to buy house for his own stay? Is it possible? The boss simply withdraw. Don't also, right? If you mess up everything, mix up everything together, how you can make clear how much profit in the company, right? So that's why we need to split the boss transaction out of the company. We will need to split their account clearly. We call it as entity berasingan. So how the situation will ask? The question might ask that will tell that the boss house cannot record into company. The boss personal expenses, buy his own personal laptop cannot record into company account. Or this kind of transaction, or this kind of situation. Then your answer will be entity berasingan. Then the second one, wang sebagai ukuran. The keyword will be the wang lah. Wang means money. the question will ask, it will have a sentence mention that we need to prepare the report in terms of currency RM. Okay, then your RM will be your keyword lor. It's just a situation telling you how to measure the money in what currency. So if you see RM, if you see sen sebagai ukuran, then it will be wang sebagai ukuran. And number three, usaha berterusan. Keyword is terus. Terus means continue. Continue to operate. Continue to run the business. For example, let's say, is it possible that you start a business and straight away at the first place, you plan to run it for 3 months only? No, right? You will continue your business as long as you still can continue, as long as you still can bear the cost, as long as you see the opportunity to earn more profit, right? And some more. Remember, we have chapter 2 talking about klasifikasi. We got bukan semasa and semasa. For example, a car. Maybe for example, for a van you buy a van to transfer your product to the shop. Is it possible that you buy a van and then sell it out, or maybe rent it out, or maybe buang it within 1 year? No, right? You will use it for more than a year, right? So even your asset, your properties, you get something that it lasts for more than a year. You will use it for more than a year. How come you only run the business for less than a year? So if you see any keyword in the question that mention continue business lah, meneruskan lah, beroperasi lah, some more we got one more keyword. Lebih 1 tahun. More than 1 year, then your answer is usaha berterusan. Okay. Then tempo perakaunan. Okay, tempo perakaunan. Just now you mentioned, let's say if we run the business for totally 5 years, is it possible I only prepare the report once in 5 years? Is it possible? I'm running the business for totally 5 years. Is it possible I only prepare the report only once in 5 years? No, because you need to keep on knowing what's the performance of the company to see any improvement that you need to do, any adjustment that you need to do, right? So we are going to break down the business life. If you do the business for 5 years, the 5 years is the business life. Then you're going to break down the 5 business years into tempo perakaunan, into 5 different accounting period, means your report period. So if you see the question telling that tempo perakaunan lah, they mention what's the date lah from the starting of the year until end of the year, they're stating a period with specific date, and also they mention setahun lah, half a year lah, 3 months lah, we call it as suku tahun, then the answer is tempo perakaunan. That's the keyword to answer the question lah. Okay, there are the 4 assumptions. Then we got another 3 principle. Principle means principle that you need to follow. It's something called as something like rules, something standards that you need to follow when you run the business. And the first one, ketekalan. Ketekalan in English, we call it as consistent. Consistent means the same. You always need to use the same method to calculate. For example, if I'm running business for 5 years, is it possible that first year report, I measure my report in RM? Second year, I measure the report in Sing dollar. In third year, I measure my report, I prepare my report in US dollar. Is it practical? Is it reasonable? Does it make sense? No, right? Okay. The figure may be still the same, the outcome still the same, but if you want to compare this year to last year report, if last year you prepare in RM, this year you prepare in Sing dollar, if you want to compare the performance, you need to convert, right? And the currency rate will always change. Then how to convert? Even you know how to convert, you get the same answer also, but it's very troublesome also, right? That's why we are going to use the same method to prepare the report to calculate also. So if you see in the question, there's a keyword kaedah yang sama, which is same method, then it will be ketekalan. Then the next one, principal cost. Cost means original price. For example, okay, I don't like to read the sentence because account is not about the sentence. Account is about the understanding the logic and then prepare the accounts, prepare the report. For example, if let's say I have a kendaraan, I have a car. I bought in 2025 at 50,000. Okay, 5 years later, 2030. I haven't sold it yet. I still keep that car, but I want to check what's the market price. Is it higher or lower or the same? I have the car for 5 years already. I use it, I drive it for 5 years already. If I want to check the market price of this current car, is it will be the same price or the lower price or the higher price? Which one? The same car in the market after years of usage. Will the market price the same or the lower or the higher? Lower, why? Because maybe got some scratch, maybe can make a little bit already, or maybe tire punctured already, even though you change the spare part already, you repaired it already, the spare part also will be merosot already, right? So that's why the price of the car will getting lower and lower over the year. But you still cannot recognize the losses yet because you only make losses. Okay, let's say that I check the market price. Okay, this is the market price 5 years later. So seems like I will lose 25,000, right? But I haven't sold it yet. Will I recognize my losses? I haven't sold the car yet, but will I say that I lost the money already? Huh? It is potential losses, but maybe market price 25,000. But maybe you are good at negotiation. You manage to get sell it at 30,000 later, right? So it just estimated market price. You haven't sold the car at all yet, so you cannot recognize a loss because you still get the car, ma. You're still having the car that you bought it at 50,000 at the cost. So as long as you haven't sold the car, you always record the cost, original price. That means in the situation, in the question that will tell you that blah 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 where we bought the car, how much is it, then few years later the market value dropped already, but in the account, in the report, we still record it as the original price because we haven't sold it yet. Then that's a situation that you will need to get the answer, principal cost. Okay? Because in accounting rules, as long as you haven't sold the car, it's not your loss yet. Maybe you get profit also because we got more things to consider, not only market price. You will learn these details in chapter 8. Okay. Then the last one, pengiktirafan hasil dan belanja. This one very easy lah. As long as you see in the question, there's a keyword hasil lah, belanja lah, belum terima, belum terperoleh, prabayar, belum bayar, untung rugi lah. There's so much of keyword for you to tackle. So it's quite easy. It's very easy for you to answer this question. Then what meant by this pengiktirafan hasil dan belanja? Let's say if I incur rental fee, I should pay 12 months, which is 1 year rental fee in a year, right? But let's say if I delay my payment, I should pay up to December this year, but I delay my payment for December into next year. But in accounting rules, whatever you should pay this year, it should be affecting your profit in this year. No matter you pay too much or paid too less, you receive too much or too less. As long as you should pay, you should receive in this year, consider as this year profit. Whatever next year, it will be only considered for next year profit. That's what meant by pengiktirafan hasil dan belanja lah. That means we are not going to record the hasil and belanja, the income and expenses based on what we have received, what we have paid. We need to calculate based on what we should pay, what we should receive, the actual amount. Okay, so that's the last part of chapter 1 that you can take picture now. Okay, once you've done taking picture, okay, take picture for the APO report first. Take picture of this first. This is the explanation for every single term to help you memorize for APO. Normally, I will try to simplify the memorized word by understand the logic, what meant by it first, then easier for you to remember the format also. Okay, done? Done taking picture. Then let us go back to the notes. Okay, chapter 2. Chapter 2, first part, klasifikasi. We ran through a little bit later already, just now already, right? So I ran through a little bit quickly only lah, ha. We have totally 5 klasifikasi. We got asset. Asset means our property, whatever belongs to us. As long as your money lah, where is it go lah? As long as your money, where you keep it in your landlord, keep it with your car dealer to book your car like deposit, keep it with other company as investment, keep it in the bank, keep it in your customer. As long as your money that you can get it, okay, that you can get it. Wait, as long as your money, as long as you can get it one day, then it is your APO. It is your money, it is your asset already. Okay? So back to the notes. Let me see a bit. Let me check.
Hello, ma'am. I have a question.
Okay, we continue, yeah? Okay, then asset is whatever belongs to you, including your car, your lorry, your product, your money, no matter where you keep it, as long as your what we call your laptop, whatever your property that you can keep, we call it as asset. The liability means your debts, whatever that you should pay, but you still haven't paid, you're owing your debts, then we call it as liability. The equity per minute, this one I put a star here, that I will refer to here. Equity per minute, we call it as the fund to run the business. Okay, then hasil means income. Whatever receive, whatever you are getting, we call it as hasil. For belanja, as long as you are spending, you are giving out, diberi, dibayar, then it will be your expenses belanja. Okay, then APO PKK, for PKK, later we will do it together when we do persamaan account. For APO, I get you to take picture just now already, right? Persamaan account, we will do it together with PKK later, with one question. Then klasifikasi, okay. For asset and liability, we got 2 more subcategory, bukan semasa and semasa. Okay, for semasa, you got only one phrase, right? But for bukan semasa, you got 2 wordings here. So, longer wordings means longer time. That means bukan semasa means for more than a year. Semasa means less than a year. How we call more than a year, less than a year? Let's say for asset. If let's say for a car, you bought a car, normally use it for years, right? Many years, right? means you keep the car for more than a year, then it will be aset bukan semasa. But if I say it is product, is it possible you keep your product for more than a year? Cannot be, right? You wish to sell it as soon as possible. Maybe you buy it now, you might be desperate to sell it in the next moment already. So impossible for you to keep it for more than a year, right? You keep it for less than a year, very short term of period. Then it will be asset semasa. And also your money in the bank, your money in the office, your tunai rencismo money, your saving lah, your investment lah, all those kind of money, the money value will change very frequently in a year. We also call it as asset semasa. Okay, then how about liability? Liability means your debts, your hutang, your debts. Eventually, you still need to pay for your debts, right? No matter how soon is it, you still need to pay. So the matter here is how long you need to pay for your liability. If you take less than a year, or you need to pay in a year, then we call it as asset semasa. For example, we call it as liability semasa. For example, you buy product, you haven't paid money. We call it as account belum bayar. If you buy haven't pay, is it possible for the supplier to allow you to pay after 1 year? Cannot be, ma. Can be only allow you to pay within 1 year because he will be worried that you're suddenly gone already. Cannot get back your money. So it'll be liability semasa. But let's say if you borrow money from bank, pinjaman bank or pinjaman. Normally when you borrow money from bank, you will incur interest fee because you are borrowing a huge value of money. How is it possible can someone else to pay for huge value of money in a year? Of course, take more than 1 year, that it will be liability bukan semasa. Then EP, I circled it out because these are the 4 terms that you no choice you need to memorize one by one. First one, modal. Modal means when the boss bring in for company use. So if you see any keyword bawa masuk or memasukkan, any kind of bring in lah, we call it as modal. In opposite way, if take out for personal use, let's say ambil, keluar, and also make sure that is a term peribadi for personal use. Make sure that is a term for family use lah, sendiri lah, for isteri lah, for anak lah. As long as you saw there's a specific term for personal use, then you can only consider as ambilan lah. But if it is not for personal use, especially not mentioned in the question, it cannot consider as ambilan lah. So bear in mind that ambilan can only be provided there is a specific term referring to personal use. The last two, untung bersih, rugi bersih. Untung means profit. If you earn profit, the fund in the company is getting more. If you get losses, the fund in the company is getting lesser loss. So remember, there are totally 4 terms for EP. So I purposely put the 4 here. You need to memorize and you need to use it until Form 5 also. Okay? Then that's all the classification recap. Now let us go to persamaan account. But for persamaan account, right, because I want to save time, I will straight away discuss and explain by using question. So let's go to page number 20. Oh, sorry, 21. Go to page number 21. Okay, ignore my answer here first. I explain the logic first. Okay. As you see here, I got 3 numbering here. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Persamaan account, we're actually having 3 parts for this question. First part, the formula. The formula that you need to memorize is asset equals to liability plus equity pemilik. Okay, maybe let me erase it there first. Okay. Asset equals to liability plus equity pemilik. You need to memorize it because you need to use it and somehow you need to play around with this formula in Form 5 also. Even in Form 4 lah. Because most of the time, the question won't give you EP. But before that, what's the logic of this formula? Asset is a property. For example, factory. If you want to buy factory, you need money. how to get the money is either you borrow money or maybe you have some fund in the company for you to buy the factory. So that's the logic of this formula lah. Hopefully it is helpful for you to memorize. And just now we mentioned most of the time the question won't give you the EP, right? So this time EP is something like your X, like your unknown. And what's the EP normally missing in the question? Modal. Because without modal, without the fund in the company, can you run any business? Without fund, without modal, can you run any business? Yes or no? Without fund, can you run any business? Without anything in the company, can you run business? Cannot, right? So make sure that is modal in any business. As no matter it's new business, old business, what kind of business is it, big or small one, also need modal. So if modal is missing there, you need to find out modal by your own by using this formula. So modal is EP, right? So imagine this EP is your unknown, something like your X in mathematics. How to find your X? You need to find the X equals to what answer is it, right? So how to find the X? Make the X alone somewhat in positive, because the question can't ask you to find how much is negative X, right? No. So need to keep your X alone somewhat in positive. And somewhat EP here is positive already. So keep it here. Leave the rest to opposite side. And previously in the equation, liability is to add. Now move it to the another side, become add or minus. Yes, it will become A minus L. So the formula we'll be getting EP equals to A minus L. Remember this logic, Okay, then after that, you need to apply this formula into the table step 2. So as you see here, we can see the first formula, first row here. Asset equals to liability plus equity per million. And that's the equal here. You need to make sure asset equals to liability plus equity per million. That's why you see here, I draw a line after the asset to make sure left-hand side equals to right-hand side. Is it familiar? Yes, right? We learned this something like system triton background, right? Yes. This is the basic for it lah. It's just that in chapter 2 persamaan account, we haven't learned that. But everything is linked to the system triton background. Okay, so if you see here, the table I have a left hand side, right hand side here. When I transfer into PAK, I also have left hand side, right hand side. So if you see here, all asset left hand side, all liability EP right hand side, and some more follow the system triton group. Asset should be in debit liability EP should be in credit side, right? Yes. So everything also linked together. Okay lah. Okay, let us go through this table. I brief you a little bit on the remark first, important remarks. You saw I remark a star here, right? Okay, so that's the important point that you need to remember always. That's the tricks how you answer the question for persamaan account. Okay, first thing, we have totally 5 klasifikasi before. Asset liability EP hasil belanja. But in this formula, we only got asset liability EP. What else missing here? What else is missing here? You got asset liability EP here. What are the 2 klasifikasi missing here? You only got 3 here. How about the another 2? What are the another 2 klasifikasi that missing here? No? Klasifikasi means asset liability EP hasil belanja. That we learn the A, B, C, D. You got 2 in debit, another 3 in credit. The one. We got 5 actually in total, but we got 3 only here. Asset liability EP hasil belanja. What's missing here? Hello? Anyone else? Asset liability EP hasil belanja. What's missing here? Yes, hasil and belanja. But is it possible that because I don't have any space here and I'm not going to record it, just forget about it? No, right? Because we need to record whatever happened in a company to reflect, to find out the accurate, the actual untung and rugi, the actual profit and loss. Then where to record the hasil and belanja? Remember the logic? We common sense logic. How to find out? Yes, untung per se. Why? Because how you find out your profit and loss? Get your money income minus the money that you spend expenses, right? So untung besar formula, just common sense logic. Untung besar equals to hasil income minus belanja expenses. So that means whenever you have hasil belanja, record into untung besar. Then how to record add or minus? If you got hasil, your income, if you're getting more income, your profit is getting more, right? So if it is hasil, you need to add or minus the untung besar. If you got hasil, add or minus untung besar? Add. If you got belanja, expenses, you're spending money, so your profit is getting lower, right? Then you need to minus. Okay, then one more. Ambilan. Ambilan means the boss take out for personal use. And just now we mentioned ambilan is EP, right? But when the boss take out for personal use, the fund in the company, the EP in the company is getting more or less. Minus from modal? Not yet. Not yet minus from modal. Ambilan means take out for personal use. Means your EP is getting more or less. EP means the fund in the company, the resources in the company is getting less. So umbrella is always minus EP, yeah? But can you write minus sign in this table for umbrella? For those who learned this before? No, right? But we know that umbrella is to minus, or then how? Then you can make a big remark in the umbrella term here, but not in the table itself, ah. Yes, don't put the bracket in the table itself for the value, but you can put a negative sign in ambilan here to remind you later when you calculate total, press your calculator by minus ambilan. Okay? Okay, so that's the 2 points that you need to remember. Then one more special condition for ambilan. If you found ambilan transaction in the question, but there's no ambilan column, then how? It's EP ma. EP must go back to EP column, right? And we got only modal and untung base here. Is it possible for us to record the umbrella in untung base? Is it possible? Can we record umbrella in untung base? No, because untung base can only record hasil and belanja ma. Then no choice, you have to record into umbrella. But when you record umbrella in modal, can you put it in bracket? When you put umbrella in modal, can you put it in bracket? Yes, because the whole thing here, everywhere you also can put it in bracket except for this table ambulan only. That's it. Except this one only. Okay, ah? Okay, then let us go to the question. Okay, I will only try on one question. I purposely pick the longer question so you can see most of the scenario to help you answer the rest of the question. Okay. Encik Daud, the boss, memulakan new business. If new business, do we have baki? New business, do we have baki? Baki means balance. Balance from last month. No, no baki. It's no baki, yeah? If no baki, that means there's no fund at all in the company, right? Without anything, you cannot run any business. That means the boss need to bring in something, right? So what's the account? What's the account when you see memulakan perniagaan? Whenever it is new business. The boss must bring in something for you to start any business. Yes. It must be modal. And modal is not given in the question. You need to add on by your own. Okay. So he bring in something in this year to start a business on 1st January 2026. Dengan membawa aset. Oh, you see membawa? Membawa means bring in. So confirm that it is modal lah. Okay, then you need to figure out how to record into table to add or minus. Okay, let us do the same thing like how we do for PCP lah. Since we learned it before already, right? Then what's the classification of perabot? Perabot, the furniture, the sofa, the chair, the table. Perabot klasifikasi. Klasifikasi AS, ABS, LS, LBS, EP hasil belanja. Yes, ABS. Because it's your property that you're going to use it for more than a year. Kendaraan, vehicle, including the lorry, the truck, the car, the van, ABS also. Tunai di bank, this one is too leceh lah, too long already lah. Tunai di bank means the money keep in the bank lah, just call it as bank. Bank klasifikasi, your money in the bank. AS, okay, modal, EP, okay, how to find EP value? How to find the EP value? What is the formula to find EP value? Yes, A minus L. But for this question, there's no L, right? If no L, that means easy lah. Don't need to minus lah. Then just total up whatever asset we have lah. Okay, I have find out it is 52,000. Okay, then record into the table lah. Okay, put into the table. Perabot, 3,000. Kendaraan, 37,000. Bank, 12,000. Modal, 52,000. Okay, before we continue, remember the asset must be equal to liability and equity per minute, right? And that means we need to make sure left hand side equals to right hand side. That's why I purposely draw a line easier for us to check whether left hand side equals to right hand side or not. But this equal means your total equals the total of left and right hand side must be the same. But provided every transaction left and right hand side must be the same also, right? So my tricks is don't blindly do all the way, record everything, then only check all at once at the last step for debit for the total. No. If accidentally you find it as too bad that unluckily you find that debit and credit left hand side, right hand side totally not equal, then how? You need to waste your time to find out one by one right wrong to find out. And actually this jadwal is one of the easiest topic in your syllabus. And some more, you need more time for your next question, which is document BCP ledger. So it's better for us to save the time. Don't waste any time here. So make sure don't waste any time by record every transaction, check whether the same, then only start the next one. Don't straight away wait up to the last thing, then you only check it is same or not. No, you need to do one by one. Check one by one first. And now we have filled up the first transaction already. Should be the same lah, because that's how we total up all these to get the 52,000 more now, right? Okay, then the first sentence. For persamaan account, just now I mentioned, is one of the easiest topic for your syllabus, right? But some students find it's difficult. It's just mainly because of one question, one issue. Because they can't really understand the sentence because the sentence is too lengthy, too confusing. It's fine. We just break down the sentence lah, make it shorter lah. So, beli barang niaga, stop here first. Beli barang niaga, as long as barang niaga means your product. Product we call as inventory. If you buy your inventory is getting more. Okay, secara credit, then answer me. Secara credit means, have you received money? Have you got the payment yet? If it is secara credit. Not yet. And now you are buying, right? You buy, haven't paid, we call it as account balloon. Account balloon. Bayar, because Malay pay money means bayar, you haven't paid, so called as balloon bayar lah. So account balloon bayar. Now the question is, I buy, haven't paid. So the amount that I haven't paid, the amount that I balloon bayar getting more or less. I buy, I haven't pay. So my balloon buyer value is getting more or less getting more. So both also getting more by 3,500. Let us record into the table. Inventory at by 3,500. ABB also increased by 3,500. And obviously both also equals to 3,500 left and right hand side, right? Okay, then the same. Continue the next one. Buyer saver. Okay, stop here first. Buyer saver. Saver means rental fee. Whenever you are paying, what is the classification? You are paying, you are spending, you are giving. As long as we saw this term, that means what's classification is it? Yes, belanja. And we learned new topics earlier already, right? Further topics already, right? So can I straight away record all the belanja, all the spending into one belanja account? Can I lump every belanja in one belanja account? No, because later if the boss asks you, how much saver did I spend? How much salary did I pay? If you lump everything into one belanja, oh, then you need to go through the whole belanja account, look for all the saver, find the saver and total up the saver manually by your own. It is too troublesome already. Nobody is going to do that at all. So if you pay for anything, just name the account by using that particular thing that you're paying for. If you pay for saver, then name the account as saver. If you pay for gaji, then name the account as gaji. So we name this account as saver. Okay, this is for further steps only. But as long as belanja, where to record in this table? We mentioned it just now. As long as belanja, where to record? Which column to record? Belanja. Where to record your belanja? In which column? Keep belanja in the column. Column what? Refer to a table. Where to record belanja? Out of the column here. Yes, untung bersih. And belanja is going to add or minus your untung bersih. When you're spending money, your untung bersih is getting add or minus. Belanja spending money. When you're spending money, your untung bersih, your profit is getting reduced by 600. Okay, then continue the sentence. Dengan check. Whenever you have check, means account what? Whenever there is a check, pay money by account what? Account bank, yes. And when you pay money, money is getting lesser. So your untung bersih minus 600. Bank also minus 600. So obviously left and right hand side also equals to negative 600 lah. Okay, the number 3. Menjual barang niaga. Okay, stop here first. Menjual barang niaga bercost 800. You jual barang niaga, just now we mentioned, as long as barang niaga, that it will be inventory. But when you're selling your inventory is getting lesser, right? Okay. Your price of your inventory, 800. So, your inventory minus 800 lah. But common sense logical thinking. Is it possible you sell your inventory at the original price? Are you going to sell your product at original price? No. Definitely you're going to sell it at higher price, right? Okay. So remember that concept, Then they mentioned secara credit. That means you sell your product, have you received money? If it's secara credit, you sell product, yes, but have you received the money? Not yet. If you sell, haven't received money, how we call it? Account balloon? Account balloon? Terima, because in Malay, receive. We call it as terima. You haven't received means belum terima lah. Okay, you sell your product and you haven't received money. So the money that you haven't received, your belum terima, getting more or less. You sell and you haven't received money, so your belum terima is getting more or less. More. By how much? Is it possible 800 again? Is it possible I sell my product originally value 800? I in future only receiving 800. Huh? 1100? No. No, I'm not talking about the profit yet. I'm talking about the money that I'm going to receive in future. Dimension, the value of my product is 800 and I sell it at 1900. So how much I need to receive in future? Huh? 800? The price, the original value of my product is 800 and I sell it at 1900. So how much I'm going to receive in future? I sell but I haven't received money yet. Huh? Why 1100? No, no, no. I'm not talking about the profit yet. I'm talking about I sell my 800 product at 1900 and I haven't received any single cent yet. So the amount that I haven't received, yes, 1900. Because ABT is supposed to talk about the money that you will receive. Means the selling price lah. You sell it at 1900, that means you're supposed to receive 1900 ma. So your ABT increased by 1900. Okay, let us record into the table first. Inventory minus 800. ABT increased by 1900 because I sold it at 1900. Of course, I'm going to receive 1900 in future lah. But obviously, it's not the same for left and right hand side, right? There's a difference, 1100. So where to record the 1100? Where to record the 1100? Yes, untung. Because I sell it at the higher price, that means we are getting profit. So we need to add untung per se 1100. That means the debit, credit, your left and right hand side, now both also equals to positive 1100. So remember that everything is not talking about the profit at all. Profit means take your selling price minus the original price. But ABT, no. Or ABT is only referring to selling price that you're going to receive later. Okay. Then number 4, bayar ABB. If you pay for ABB, of course affecting ABB account lah. But the question now is, ABB means you haven't paid. Previously, you haven't paid. Now you are paying. After your payment, your ABB, your balloon bayar balance is getting more or less. You haven't paid previously, so you're paying now, your balloon bayar, the balance that you haven't paid, huh? Why getting more? Why getting more? Balloon bayar means you haven't paid before. Now you are paying, so balance haven't paid is getting less. And you pay by using check, 2,850. Whenever see check, we know that it is account bank, right? If you pay money, your money is getting lesser. If I have a check written that 2,850, is it possible that I straight away pay 3,000? Is it possible that check written 2,850, 2,850, but I cash out, I really pay 3,000? Is it possible? Possible? Yes or no? I have a check written 2,850 there. Is it possible that later I paid 3,000 by using this check? Possible? Possible or not? Hello? Easy example lah. If I issue a check, I give you a check written 2,850. Is it possible that you're getting 3,000 later? No. You can only get whatever value stated on the check, right? So check written 2,850. So bank only minus 2,850. That means I only paid 2,850 to ABB law. Right? Okay. Then the rest of the sentence that mentioned, terima discount. We receive discount. Receive discount, the action of receive What is the klasifikasi? As long as you receive anything, hasil, okay. And this hasil, we call it as discount diterima. And where to record hasil? What is the column that we should record hasil? We should keep the hasil in column? Column what? Untung bersih. And it is going to add or minus the untung bersih. Add, because your income is getting your profit more. Untung bersih by 150. Okay, yes, just now I recorded the 2,850 twice, right? Now I'm getting 150. I'm going to record the 150 once or twice. Remember the rules that we always need to make sure left and right hand side the same. How to make sure the same? Every figure need to record once or twice. Once or twice. If no matter how, I still need to make sure left and right hand side the same, debit, credit the same. Every figure I have to record once or twice. Twice. So this 150 I also need to record twice. So logical thinking, if I receive discount, that means I need to pay more or less later. After receive discount, I need to pay more or less later. Less. That means my ABB minus another 150. But bear in mind that if check pay 2,850, of course my ABB really minus by this actual amount lah. And after that, I get discount. So my ABB minus another 150. So how much I need to minus my ABB in total? How much? I minus ABB by twice. On top of the 2,050, I minus another 150. So how much I need to minus my ABB in total? How much I need to minus ABB in total? No, where got 2,200? How you get it? First value 2,850. Second value 150. Huh? Wait 300? 300? Any typo? First time minus 2,850. Second time minus another 150. So totally minus how much? Totally minus by how much? Hello? Hello? You paid actual value 2,850 ma. So of course the ABB really minus by this value lah, because just now we mentioned, okay, wait is it possible that we have a check 3850? I pay you 3850, but I only minus your ABB by 2,700. Is it possible? I pay you really cash 2,850 but only minus my ABB 2,700. Is it possible? Is it possible? No, definitely need to minus the exact amount, right? Because I really pay the exact amount. So first time, I minus the exact amount already. Some more, you give me another 150 discount. So I minus another, I don't need to pay another 150. So totally, I need to minus ABB by how much? How much? Hello? How much I need to minus in total after combining these two? Hello? We still got more questions to do, that taking more time, How much? Take a guess first. Give a try. Minus ABB by 2 times. So totally have to minus by how much? Hello? Can anyone answer? Because this one is one of the confusing part. I need you to answer. Hello? I can't proceed without your answer, huh? Yes, 3,000. So remember, the check will reduce the ABB or ABT by exactly the same value. Discount is another additional value to minus. So totally, you need to minus ABB by 3,000. Then bank minus 2,850. Then hasil record into your untung bersih by 150. So if you combine left and right hand side together, you will get both equals to negative 2,850. Okay. And number five, the remote check. Whenever see check means account bank, right? The remote receive check means receive money. Money is getting more. Daripada ABT, of course, affecting ABT account lah. Now the question is, previously belum terima. Previously, I haven't received money yet. And after I receive money now, my belum terima, the balance that I haven't received, getting more or less. After receive money, the balance of belum terima, the balance of haven't received, getting more or less. Less. By only one value, right? Because there's only one value given here. So bank increased by 1,270. ABT increased by, ABT minus by 1,270 also. And although we don't have anything recorded in right hand side, but if you combine the left hand side together, positive and negative together, you will get zero at balance, right? So both left and right hand side the same now. Then number 6, pemilik membawa masuk. Okay, we found the keyword already and we mentioned it previously. What's the account here? If you see membawa masuk, always referring to account. Account what? Membawa masuk, always referring to bring in, referring to account, account, modal. Okay, when the boss bring in the fund in the company, the resources modal in the company, always getting more. He bring in tunai, so second account is tunai lah. He bring in tunai is getting more. But the back and the sadness dimension, he bring the tunai into perniagaan, but dibankkan. That means, did you keep the money in tunai of the office? Did you keep tunai in the office? No. Instead, you keep it in. You keep it in. Keep it in where? Bank. So change the tunai become bank. Okay, record. Modal. Add by 3,000. Bank also increased by 3,000. So both left and right hand side equals to 3,000 now. Okay, then number 7. Sekeping check yang diterima. Okay, we receive a check. Check means account bank, right? If you receive check, that means you receive money in bank. Bank money is getting more. Daripada ABT. Okay, if you receive money from ABT, affecting ABT lah. ABT is getting more or less. ABT means haven't received less, because after receive money, of course the balance haven't received is getting less ma. Getting less by 507. Bank also increased by 507. But the rest of the sentence dimension, the check has been returned by the bank. That means the check is rejected. If the check has been rejected by the bank, that means the bank money that we keep, is it really belongs to us? We got the check, put it in the bank. We thought it is our money, but now the check has been rejected by the bank. That means, is the money belongs to us? Is the money that we keep in the bank belongs to us? Yes or no? No. So you need to remove out the money from the bank. Means you need to minus your bank instead to add. And also end up, did the customer pay us the money really? That means, is the customer really pay us the money? No, right? So you need to getting more money or lesser money. And now the customer didn't pay us really well. Didn't pay us for real well. So need to get more money or lesser money from the customer. Why less money? You didn't receive the real money from the customer that he should repay you. Means you need to collect back the money again, right? That means your balloon terima is getting more or less. Let's say you pay me money. I got your check already. And I minus your ABT out already because I thought you pay me money already. My balloon terima is getting lesser lah. But now the check cannot work. Oh. Isn't it that I need to get back the money again from you? Means the money that I haven't received is actually getting more lah. So ABT getting more back because I really haven't received the money at the end. So bank minus 507. ABT increased by 507. So both left and right hand side the same equals to 0. Okay, then number 8. Pemilik telah mengeluarkan. Mengeluarkan means take out. But can I straight away call it as ambilan when I see take out without checking the rest of the question? Can I? No, I need to make sure there is a specific term. There is a clear term telling for personal use can only conclude as ambilan, right? So this is not ambilan yet. Hold on for ambilan first. And he take out check. We see check, we can confirm it's bank, right? If we take out money from bank, money is getting lesser. Okay, then after that, untuk kegunaan peribadi. So can I confirm it is ambilan? Untuk kegunaan peribadi. Can I finally confirm that it is ambilan? Yes. And ambilan always add or minus EP. Boss take out for personal use. So my EP, the fund in the company, the resources in the company is getting minus. But can I write minus in the column of ambilan? Can I write minus in the column of ambilan? No. But when you calculate the total, you need to minus. Okay. So record bank minus 610. Ambilan by right should minus 610, but with a hidden bracket there. So with a hidden bracket here, you can imagine both also the same lah. Okay, the last one. Perniagaan telah meminjam daripada bank. Means you borrow money from bank 5,000. If you borrow money from bank, of course, you need to record how much you have borrowed first off, in order for you to keep the record how much you need to pay in future, right? So this we call it as pinjaman lah. You borrow money, that means a pinjaman. The money that you borrow, your debts is getting more. 5,000. And this money, we keep into account bank. So obviously they give us the answer already. Second account is bank. You borrow money and they will transfer you the money into the bank. That means your money in the bank is getting more by 5,000 also. Okay, then record pinjaman 5,000. Bank also increased by 5,000. Okay. So after record everything here, what you need to do is get the total of all this right here. Means total berabuk how much, total kenderaan how much, total for all the columns for how much. After that, total everything in left hand side, put it here. Total everything from right hand side, put it here. But remember when you calculate the total for the right hand side, umbrella always add or minus in calculator. Umbrella always add or minus in calculator. Minus in calculator, although there's no bracket. Okay, to save time, calculation wise, no issue, right? Provided you press the calculator correctly. So I calculated for you already. Let me remove whatever that we keep it for later first. Okay, So I get the same for left and right hand side, but in case you get the left and right hand side not the same, first checking your unbilan. Did you accidentally add it together? Because by right you should minus. That's another tips for you to check your answer lah. And make sure left and right hand side the same Okay, after done your table already, then you need to prepare your PKK. PKK means penyata kedudukan kewangan. You need to tell how much balance of asset you have, how much of a balance of liability EP you have. And as you see here, just now we mentioned, asset in left hand side lah. Liability EP in right hand side, it will be right hand side lah. And also, isn't it follows the system Triadan rule? A, B, C, D, A, debit, left hand side. But liability EPL and E should be in credit side. Okay, then what you need is don't take the transaction ever already because the transaction is only accountant's job. Boss don't need to care about, don't concern about, don't bother at all what kind of transaction we are doing. Boss only concerned about the total only. So only take the total for PKK. The rest no need. Then you just, according to your classification, record into your PKK lah. Asset, debit. Liability, EP, credit. But for liability and asset, you got bukan semasa and semasa, right? So you need to figure out what is the classification of all these accounts first to record into your PKK format. Okay, we have done it halfway just now. Perabot ABS, kendaraan ABS.
Hi guys, I am under the water. Please help me.
Okay, then now, BT. What is the classification of ABT? ABT means you sell but haven't received the money. So it's something like you keep your money short term with the customer first.
Please help me.
And you will get it back eventually. So it will be eventually your money soon. And just now we mentioned as long as your money, no matter where you keep it with customer, keep it with supplier, keep it with landlord, keep it with other investment link, it will be your money, right? As long as your money, what is the classification? ABS, AS, LS, LBS, EP hasil belanja. What's the classification of ABT? Your money keep with the customer for short term of period. What is the classification of ABT? Yes, it is AS. Inventory, the product that you're going to sell it as soon as possible. So keep it for less than a year, AS. ABB, you buy haven't paid and you should pay in 1 year. Yes, LS. Pinjaman, borrow money from bank for a huge value of money, taking more than 1 year to pay, LBS. The EP, modal, ambilan, untung per se, everything there is just EP. What you need to do is copy and paste into your format, following the format sequence here lah. Okay, so just now we mentioned you got bukan semasa and semasa. And as long as you got bukan semasa, always record the bukan semasa first. Because bukan semasa, the value should be remain the same for a longer time. So put bukan semasa first always, then only semasa. Okay. Then when you record the asset in the left hand side here, always calculation start from the right. No matter what report is it, no matter what account is it, no matter what situation is it. So if you got two bukan semasa, asset bukan semasa here, record the account here, value start from the right. Then total up for asset bukan semasa. Then it will be the rest of the asset semasa. You got 3 asset semasa to record, right? So list out the 3 account. But because you got multiple AS, so later you need to show how much is the total AS. If you put your AS listing here, get the answer, you cannot just total up your AS. You should total up together with ABS. In this case, you won't know how much is the total AS. And in case the boss asks you, how much is the total AS? How is it possible you ask the boss to calculate by himself? And also, how is it possible for you to ask the boss to wait for you, calculate for him? No. So make it clear, whenever you have any calculation, put it to the left first. Only put back the answer to the right. Then you only total up your ABS and AS together to get your total asset. And normally I will keep more lines first because I need to keep left and right hand side total at the same level. Then for equity per millage, it should be written before the liability because equity per millage, the fund in the company, you can understand something like the bullet for you to run the business. And normal people perspective, you will show people what's good for you first, right? Which is your bullet first lah. So keep your EP first, liability the worst thing, your debts keep it for the last. So record the equity per millage first, follow the format here, modal awal first. Because you need modal to run business to see any profit or loss, right? But this modal awal doesn't mean that you take the very first modal from the table and no, always taking the last row here for your total. Then after getting a modal awal, run the business, you will be able to know whether untung and rugi per se. If you got untung, profit is getting your bullet more. So add your EP. Then get your answer. If you got rugi losses, it will making your bullet lesser, making your equity per millage lesser. Then you only minus lah. Then followed by ambilan. In ambilan here, you can put it in bracket because no matter where is it, you can write bracket and minus in any report except ambilan column in persamaan account only. After minus ambilan, then you will get the final answer as modal akhir. Because you started the calculation by modal awal, always end properly by using modal akhir also lah. Then liability, always start by bukan semasa first, then only semasa. I keep it to the right because there's only one LS, LBS we have for this question. If there's only one for each, that means the pinjaman itself is the total LBS. No point for us to calculate and rewrite again for the total. No need. Just keep it for the last. Liability bukan semasa and liability semasa the same. If you got more, then only put it to the left, answer put back to the right. Then total up your modal akhir, LBS, LS together, and make sure the same total for left and right hand side again. And the tips is, don't copy this total straight away from the table here. Because in case you write anything wrong here, in case you calculate anything wrong here, you will lose mark. So take this step to double check your answer again also. Okay, so that's the persamaan account. Okay, for those who want to take picture, you can take picture now for the question first. Later, I let you to take picture for the answer. Okay, done. Done, huh? Okay, now finally, we can continue with the main question for today, which is from document to BCP until ledger. But I don't think we can continue until ledger today lah. But it's fine. We will continue the ledger in the class. Okay, let's go to page 26. This will be one of the most important question in your syllabus from 4. And it will mix up at least 25 marks. Okay, ready? Okay. Later, you will need to write your answer in page number 30 onwards. Let us, yeah, for your information, for those who didn't realize, we're actually having account class for 2.5 hours. So don't leave first. Okay. Then, okay, like how we learn in the class, whenever we have any question with document, we will need to make clear of 3 information first. The first one, you need to know your nama perniagaan first. You need to know the name of your business first. Because are you going to write your own name in your account? Does it make sense to write your own name in your account? Any point? You write your own name in your account? No, because what you need to know is who else you need to pay in future. Who else you need to receive money in future. So what matters to you? Not your own name. It should be others' name. So later don't write your own name in your account. Secondly, you need to know what is your boss name. Boss, we call it as per minute. If any boss name showing in your document, high chance is the transaction between the boss and the company. So it's either the boss bring in the item, we call it as modal, or the boss take off for personal use, we call it as amperan. Number 3, the most important thing, which is your inventory. What kind of product that you're selling? Because the product will affect you to record into the correct account. But moving onwards, after persamaan account, as long as you see inventory, you need to change the account name. Either to you buy inventory, how we call it? If you buy inventory, how you call it? Buy inventory. In Malay, buy, we call it as? Call it as what? Buy inventory. You buy, how we call it? Malay, buy. Beli. So make it belian. Or maybe you sell your product, we call it as? If you sell, we call it as? Jualan, yes. So moving onwards, after persamaan account, which is after the table topic, as long as you see inventory, change the belian and jualan. And when you selling item, then we can only use jualan. If no sales, not selling anything, then we can only use belian. Okay. And let's go through the sentence here. On 1st January 2024, Kisha is our boss. So later when you see Kisha, it should be our boss already. The high chance maybe it will be modal or ambulan. Okay. Telah memulakan. Memulakan means start a new business. If new business, any baki? If it is new business, any baki? No. If no baki, that means nothing in the company yet. So what else we need to do? What's the account that we find? Nothing in the company? The boss need to bring in something lah. So what's the account? What's the account? Yes, modal. And there's no modal given in the list here, so add on modal. Sharika Amazing Way. So we know our company name. So the tips here is, as long as you know that your company name already, go through all the documents, find Sharika Amazing Way, cross out anything written as Sharika Amazing Way. Cross out. Because this step is to avoid you to accidentally write your own name into account, which is wrong. So cross it. One by one for the account. Cross whatever Sharika Amazing Way. And we have totally 13 documents to check. Okay, after this step, go back to the question. We have found 2 points that we find out just now. One more. Yang menjual pakaian. So later, when you see pakaian, it will be our inventory that you have to change to either belian or jualan. Dan dengan membawa masuk, oh, we saw the key term. Membawa masuk some more dimension modal. So, right lah, we are right lah. We are creating modal here lah. Okay, then first question. Modal. Ignore the list. Just focus on the modal. Modal is an action to bring in item. So the action of bringing in item, can we record in the buku tunai reject? Just an action to bring in. Is it record into buku tunai reject? Is it? Modal is just a modal. No, because when you record in the buku tunai reject, must be paying money, receiving money, having bank and tunai as more money, right? But now no, that's just modal. But can you record into jenahas? Jenahas must meet both requirements, which are inventory and secara credit, which is whenever we buy inventory, haven't paid, we sell inventory, haven't received money. So can you record into jenahas? No, so then what else? The tong sampah, jenah So record everything in jenah and provided that is debit credit first lah. Find out the klasifikasi first. Premise klasifikasi. What's the klasifikasi of premise? Premise means your buildings, including your factory, your office, your shop. AES or ABS? Imagine, yes, because how come you can keep your shop, keep your building for less than a year? Of course, more than a year mah. So ABS. Alatan pejabat, including the office equipment, including the computer, printer, photostat machine. Office equipment. You buy laptop, why AS? You buy computer, use it less than a year meh? More than a year mah. So ABS. Perabot, furniture, sofa, table, chair, ABS also. Kenderaan, ABS. Just now we saw it earlier. Tunai di bank, just cut it short. Too lengthy already. Bank. Okay, yes, it is AS. Tunai di tangan, cash on hand, it just call it as cash lah. Tunai klasifikasi, also AS. Simpanan tetap, simpanan means your saving. Your fixed deposit, your saving in the bank. Your saving in the bank means the money in the bank lah. It's just that you keep it for longer time mah. It's still your money, right? As long as your money, no matter where you keep it, always be asset. Semasa modal, EP. And what's the formula to calculate modal? Repeat one more time. What's the formula to calculate modal? We got it earlier already. The formula to calculate modal, yes, A minus L. And there's no L here, same lah. Just take whatever asset we have, total up them together lah. Okay, let us calculate. It is 297,080. Okay, now you need to find out debit or credit. Still follow the three sentences, right? A, B, C, D lah, add or minus lah, bucket, BB, bucket, HP lah, right? So we find out the first one, klasifikasi already. Now we need to find out add or minus. It's an action the boss bring in everything here. Since the boss bring in the item here, so everything here is getting more or less. Boss is bringing in the item, so everything here is getting more or less. Yes, more. As long as getting more means increase. Original place or opposite side. If getting more, getting increase, stay to original place or opposite. Original. So all the asset, keep it in, debit. EP, keep it in, credit. Then record into your journal arm in page 30. And no matter how, always record everything in debit first, then only credit. Cannot be debit, then credit, debit. No. You need to make sure everything organized. Then prepare the format first. Tarik, putih, folio, debit, credit. Then record the list. The date it was given in the question, 2024, January 1st. Then list down whatever in debit first lah. Then record the value given here in debit. Then the last one in credit side, right? And when you want to record the account in credit side, remember need to leave some space first, like how you leave a paragraph for your essay. Modal. And put the value in credit side. Okay, after record whatever in the question already, then what to do is you need to check your total whether the same. How to check? Calculate again, but don't need because how we get this value? By taking total up all this, right? So for all those who calculate the workings, we know debit credit the same. But for those who haven't calculate, we don't know, right? So to make the user easier, let us show the total. But only when the total is not that clear, the same for debit and credit lah. So write it one more time to show people at the first glance, debit credit the same. And don't forget, we need to write the sentence, keterangan. Keterangan means a sentence to explain what is happening here. And just now we mentioned, there's no baki in this question, right? So don't write baki here. It's a new business, so need to write memulakan perniagaan pada tarikh ini. Then draw a line. That's how we record the transaction in journal. Oh, sorry, I forgot to write journal for the title of this journal. I think we need to extend the class. We will end it later a bit because we cannot finish this question. At least we need to finish the document first lah. Okay, done. Then check your list again. From the list here, from the list of account here, what is the BCP that you still need to record? Can anyone get the answer? Check the list again. I think we need to record one more time in another BCP. What is the BCP that we need to record another time? I give you the tips. What else BCP we need to record for this transaction? Yes, because we saw bank and tunai. So we need to record in the buku tunai also. So record bank and tunai in buku tunai because as long as you see bank and tunai, always record in the buku tunai. And both also accept mah. So record both in debit side, but don't write it as Baki BB because the the naming in the account there is actually explaining where you get the money from. Where you get the money from. You get all this value from modal, right? So they write it as modal. So now record these two bank and tunai into your buku tunai in page 32. And just now we mentioned we need to record into debit side, am I right? So record both in debit side. The date given in the question 2024, January 1st, bank 30,000, tunai 8,000. And you get these two money from modal, so you need to write modal. If it is old business, you just need to change the modal term become Baki Bibi. That's the only difference if it is old or new business. Okay, after this, then continue with the sentence given in the question. The transaction happened in the month of January, has been shown in the document that we need to record. And the question requirement anda dikehendaki. There are totally 3 parts here. And what we are doing here is BCP only. Buku catatan pertama means your jurnal am, jurnal khas, buku tunai reject. After you record everything in BCP, close your BCP already, then only transfer into your ledger. Ledger means a T-shape lah. That we got debit and credit. We call it as account, official account. Then after you close all the account, get the balance, or maybe we call it as the balance of the account, include them, list out them into imbangan duga, make sure become a list, getting debit equals to credit. But I don't think we got enough time to do B and C lah. But it's fine. We can continue in the class. We will learn it in the class. Okay, then the first document, memo. Memo is something like an announcement, internal announcement in the company. Something like a paper announcement, stick on the board that everyone just read on the board to know what is happening in the company. Just an announcement. So there's no asal, no salinan, is it? There's only one copy will do. So what you need to do is read the sentence, like persamaan account, to find out what are the accounts affected. Okay, Kisha, the boss, telah membawa masuk. Okay, stop here. When you see membawa masuk, what's the account? Don't need to be so rushed to copy the answer first. I will get you to take picture for the answer later. Understand what I'm talking first. Okay, yes, it is modal. And what is the classification of modal? EP. And the boss bring in modal, bring in item, the EP, the bullet, the fund in the company is getting more or less. More. When EP getting more, debit or credit? EP getting more, you have to keep it in, debit or credit? Yes, credit. Then you need to find another account to debit, right? Okay, he bring in wang tunai peribadi. From the term here, you saw tunai, right? So we suspect another account is tunai. And tunai classification AS. When the boss bring in tunai, that means tunai in the company is getting more or less. Boss bring in tunai, tunai in the company is getting more. AS getting more, debit or credit? AS getting more, debit or credit? Debit. So one account in debit, one account in credit, but let us finish the sentence first. Because sometimes the sentence having some traps at the back of the sentence. He keep the tunai peribadi, he bring in the personal tunai into bank perniagaan. That means, do we really keep the tunai in tunai? Do we really keep the tunai into tunai account? No, we actually keep it in account. Keep it in account. Bank. So change the tunai become bank. So you got two accounts already lah. First account modal, second account bank. So check the BCP sequence. Start from buku tunai, then buku tunai reject, jurnal khas, and then jurnal am. Which one should we record? First account modal, second account bank. Whenever see bank means record in which BCP? Yes, buku tunai. Put it into buku tunai. But later, when I write the value debit in bank, should I write bank in the bank? For example, if I draw it here, I put into account bank. Is it possible for me to write bank again in the bank? No, there's no point. You're wasting your time only. So the booty here just now we mentioned is just to explain where you get this value from. And now you only got two choices, modal and bank. That's why I put the numbering here. So pick either one only. Cannot write bank, then what to write here? If I debit bank, I cannot write bank. Then there's only one option left that you have to write. You have to write yes, modal. No tunai, there's no tunai. That's why I purposely write the numbering here. First account modal, second account bank. You can pick only either one here. There's only 2 here. There's no number 3 here. So just pick either one. Not bank, then it can be only modal lor. Then later, if I open account modal, I put credit here. Am I right modal here? No. What should I write? Bank. Yes, that's the logic how you figure out what to write inside there. Don't come up with number 3 one. You got only 2 so pick either one only. And record into buku tunai. Okay. Then just now we mentioned that we need to debit, right? So ignore the another line. Just focus on this line. Debit bank. So I record in debit bank. On second, put the value 10,000 in bank. And we know that we are in bank. How come write bank, right? You need to write the another one. That's the time that you check the another one, write the another one inside here. So write modal here. Okay, done for the first document. Second document. Okay, how we call this document? Especially we got check ini here. When you see this table with check ini, okay, anyone remember what's the name of the document? What's the name of this document? Starting by K. Yes, it's keratan check. Keratan check, some more you see check ini. So what's the account you saw? Keratan check and check ini. Whenever see check means account, bank. AS. Keratan means you tear off your paper. Provided you have a book, then you can only tear off, right? If you have the book itself already, you tear off the paper to give it out or keep it yourself. Use a logical thinking. Yeah, you give it out. That's why you tear off your paper, right? So you give out the paper, you give out the check. That means you are paying the check or receiving the check. Yes, paying. Whenever paying money, money is getting reduced. And AS minus credit, right? But you cannot hang your account like this because you need to make sure every figure need to record once or twice. Any record also need to record twice, right? Okay, so you need to make sure one in debit, one in credit. Now, let us find the another account in debit side. Let's see in the document here. You saw others name, right? Kedai perabot mari-mari, right? That means we are paying the money out to someone else. Why we pay the money out? We buy perabot. So that means second account is perabot. And what is the classification of perabot? Just now we mentioned is ABS, right? If we buy perabot, perabot is getting more. ABS getting more debit or credit. ABS getting more debit. So it's complete lah. You got first account bank, second account perabot. Then check these 2 accounts. You got bank, you got perabot. Which PCP to record? Buku tunai rigid, jurnal khas or jurnal am? Which one? Yes, because as long as you see bank and tunai, always record into bank. Buku tunai. So record the bank in buku tunai. Then testing again. If later we credit bank, can we write bank in bank? No, right? So what else to write? What else to write here? Yes, it is parable. Always write the another one. And how much is the value? We got so many value here. Which one should you take? I purposely underline the tips already. Yes, always look for the check INI value because what matter is how much is the value of this check that we are paying out. So later, you credit your bank, put your value in credit side buku tunai bank, then only write the butir the term as berapa. Record 2024 credit side January 4th, credit your bank 1340, butir right berapa. Okay, then the next document, invoice. Just now I get you the tips. I get you the remark previously already, right? So straight away tell me. Invoice, that means secara tunai or secara kredit. Invoice always referring to secara. Secara tunai or credit. Yes, secara credit. If you forgot why is secara credit, refer back to your notes. And we got asal copy, original copy, the best copy with the original handwriting. Means we are pembeli atau pembekal. If we get the best copy, yes, we are pembeli. If we are pembeli, that means it is belian secara kredit. Belian secara kredit means we buy haven't pay. How we call the short form? Buy haven't pay means account belum. Account belum bayar. But can we straight away write ABB as account name anymore? If I got hundreds of ABB, I need to pay later. No, I cannot write ABB anymore, right? I need to write specific. Who is that person that I need to pay later? And remember, we have to write our own name or others' name. Always be remember to write others' name that we have crossed our own name already. So there's only one name here. Pemborong Huan lah. Okay, now, secara credit, that means we haven't paid money yet. If we haven't paid money, can you still record in the buku tunai ringgit? Haven't paid money? Is it for buku tunai ringgit? No. Huh? We got buku tunai ringgit. Buku tunai ringgit. As long as you got tunai, that means you pay money already. But now you mentioned it's a secara credit or you haven't paid money yet. Or how come can record in the buku tunai ringgit? Huh? Then you need to check whether it's recorded into journal has, right? And when you want to record into journal has, there are two requirements that you need to meet both at the same time. First one, secara credit. Yes, we got. How about inventory? Are these inventory? Are these our product that we are selling in this question? Baju formal, baju, seluar. What we are selling? Yes, we are selling kayan. So all these are clothes that we are selling. It will be our inventory lah. That meets both requirement for journal has, so we can confirm record in the journal has. And we got totally 4 journal has. Berlian, pulangan, berlian, jualan, pulangan, jualan. And we have narrowed down the scope. It is either berlian or pulangan, berlian. And remember, what's the only function for pulangan? The only function for pulangan is to add or minus. The only function for pulangan is to add or minus. Minus, but we can't see any minus here, right? So it's berlian or pulangan berlian. Berlian or pulangan berlian. If there's no minus at all, yes, just keep it as berlian. And also, tell me, if it is pulangan berlian, provided that is minus, right? What is the document can only represent for pulangan? Nota what? Nota what? Which nota? Nota debit or credit only for pulangan. Nota? Nota what? Nota credit, yes. Okay, now record it into your journal has in page number 31. Prepare the format for journal has. But don't need to write the has term, huh? Just straight away write the journal has name, journal berlian. Then prepare the format first. Tarik, Bute, Folio, and that is slightly different from Jurnal Am. Because in Jurnal Khas, you haven't paid money, haven't received money, right? And in future, if you want to pay, you need the document to refer back. Who else you need to pay for? How much you need to pay? So you need to refer to the documents and find the documents by referring to the numbering of the document first. So we need to list out the number document for us to refer back the document for payment. Dan jumlah RM. And record the details 2024, January 5. But what is the booty you need to write here? You can't write Boolean. You can't write Boolean secara credit. You can't write ABB. You need to write who else you are going to pay. Who else you are going to receive money. That's why we purposely bracket up the name, the other's name. So we need to write pemborong, Huan Ying, and okay, then also in the document, number document, you get it from top of your right corner there. Value, always take the final value, regardless there's any discount or not. Okay, done for journal Boolean first transaction. Then the next one, bill tunai. From the document name here, bill tunai referring to secara tunai or secara kredit? Bill tunai. Bill tunai means secara tunai. Okay, secara tunai means you buy now, pay now. Sell now, receive money now. Anything settled already. So, do you care about what's the name of your seller? What's the name of your customer? If everything's settled, you're not care anymore, right? Because everything's settled, maybe you won't see your customer, you won't see your supplier anymore. So don't need to care about that name. So don't need to write others' name anymore, huh? Only need to write others' name when there is ABB, ABT that you need to pay or receive money in future. Okay, then asal copy, we know that we are pembeli, and pembeli is going to pay money, right? And you pay money by using bank or tunai. Seems like you pay money by using bank or tunai. Using bank or tunai. There's no number check at all. Huh? Bank man? There's no number check. Or how you know you're paying by bank? If you're paying by check, there is a numbering there. If there's no numbering, that means it is paying by tunai. And when you're paying money, money is getting lesser. Tunai AS minus AS credit. But you cannot hang your account like this, ma. At least one account in debit, another one in credit, right? So find another one in debit. Let's see what are we paying for lah. Just now we mentioned we are pembeli, means we are supposedly buying something. We are buying baju, pakaian, our inventory. Means when you buy inventory, but you can't write inventory anymore, you need to change it to bulan or jualan. Since we are pembeli, change inventory to bulan or jualan. Bulan or jualan. Inventory can only change to bulan or jualan ma. And we are pembeli, so the another account is bulan or jualan. Bulan. And bulan means you spend money to buy something. So you're talking about your spending, not talking about the money left. You're spending money. Whenever spending, what is the klasifikasi? Spending. Spending means giving out, spending out. Yes, belanja. Not talking about your spending only, I emphasize one more time, Not talking about your money left. It's talking about how much you have spent. I'm spending money to buy something. So my spending is getting more or less. My spending is getting spending. Yes, getting more. Belanja getting more. Debit. So one in debit, one in credit. First account tunai, second account balian. So which BCP should we record? First account tunai, second account balian. And we saw the keyword tunai. Tunai always keep it for Keep it for which BCP? Which buku nota? Yes, buku tunai. We got buku tunai ringgit. Buku tunai ringgit is only for small money. Small money normally is roughly 100. Normally not more than 100 lah. You got 900 plus or how got buku tunai ringgit? And some more just now we already mentioned. Buku tunai ringgit provided that is a fund that you get from the boss for you to spend in the month itself. But to now, we never see any fund requested from the boss to keep it in the buku tunai ringgit for us to spend in the month, right? Means for this question, there's no buku tunai ringgit. So record your tunai in, okay, credit your buku tunai in tunai, but you cannot write tunai in tunai, right? What to write? First account tunai, second account belian. And if I'm recording your credit tunai, what should we write inside there? I cannot write tunai, so I have to write, what to write inside the tunai? Yes, you need to write belian. Okay, record into your buku tunai. Credit, so put the date and the value in credit side tunai. Then bukti you need to write belian because you can't write tunai in tunai. Nota debit, add or minus. Nota debit is only to add or minus. Add. And nota credit means secara tunai or secara credit. Nota debit is a correction document after you find out there is adjustment needed for invoice. Yes, secara credit. Because you can only do adjustment provided there's no payment yet. And we got asal copy means we are pembeli. So it is belian secara credit. You buy haven't pay lah. You buy haven't pay, we call it as account belum bayar. But we need to replace it with somebody's name, which is pemborong huaning later. Okay, then you buy haven't pay money, no payment yet, not for buku tunai, not for buku tunai ringgit, then check, is it for journal has? First requirement, yes. How about second requirement? Is it inventory? Yes, because we are selling pakaian, we are selling clothes, baju. So we can record into journal has. And which journal has? Belian or pulangan belian when you see add instead of minus. Belian or pulangan belian. You should record the belian or pulangan belian. Yes, it's just belian. Because only nota credit for pulangan and some more only minus for pulangan. Then record into the second transaction for your journal belian. On 10 is pemborong funding again. Number document 140923. Value 30. Okay, done. It's invoice again. So this one, I go through it quickly lah because we get familiar with it already. Invoice always be referring to secara credit. And we got salinan means we are pembeli or pembekal. Salinan, the second copy. We are pembekal. We are the seller. So it is jualan secara credit. Means we sell, haven't received money. How we got the short form? We sell, haven't received money, we call it as account belum. Belum terima. But we need to replace it with specific name, right? Which is others name, Zorawe. Then secara credit means we haven't received the money yet. So not for buku tunai, not for buku tunai ringgit. Check whether for journal has. First requirement, yes. Second requirement, inventory, also yes. Record into journal has. And which journal has is it? Jualan or pulangan jualan? There's no minus, there's no return, so just keep it as journal jualan. So prepare one more journal jualan. Right after your journal belian, keep few lines, then prepare a format for journal jualan. Okay, then next document, makluman debit, makluman credit, add or minus. Makluman credit is for add or minus. Because makluman, who is the one to prepare makluman? Who is the one prepare makluman? Who is it? Yes, because they stated bank already, ma. Of course, bank is the one to prepare it, and some more makluman means informed. Just now we mentioned about it. We explained already. Accountant shouldn't be prepared document to makluman to inform himself. So they will terbalik, they will make everything reverse. So makluman credit is to add. And if you want to double confirm your answer, you can referring to the perkara here. You need to understand the term here lah. Faedah means interest. Simpanan means you're saving or borrowing. Simpanan means saving or borrowing. Saving. If you save your money in the bank, you should pay or receive interest. You keep your money in bank, you should pay or receive interest. Receive interest, then you will only save your money in the bank, right? If you receive the money, your money is getting more, so of course, makluman credit is getting more lah. A bank will only concern our money in the bank, right? So first account is bank. AS, money getting more, debit. You need to find the another account to credit lah. And what is the money that you're receiving? Faedah atas simpanan. And what is the classification, the action of receive? What's the classification when there is an action of receive? Receive something in. So classification, hasil income. And your hasil, your income is getting more or less as long as you are receiving. More. Hasil getting more, credit side. So first account bank, second account faedah atas simpanan. So where to record? You saw bank, right? Bank always keep for buku tunai. So later when you debit bank, bote you need to write faedah atas simpanan. Okay, record into buku tunai. Debit on 13. Debit for bank, 50 ringgit. Bukti write faedah atas simpanan. Okay, the next one. This small piece of paper, stabilo lah, pencil lah, Wingle lah, Pilot lah, seems like we buying pen, right? And some more dimension is bookstore. Is it this paper familiar? Whenever you buy any stationery, any grocery, any milk tea, you buy Starbucks. After your payment, you will get this small piece of paper, right? And when you get this small piece of paper, means that you are paying or receiving money. Means that you are paying money, yes. Paying money, of course, will be buku tunai ringgit, right? And for this question, there's no buku tunai ringgit, so definitely it's for buku tunai. And some more, when you buy from bookstore, you pay money by using bank or tunai. Buy something from bookstore, pay money by using bank or tunai. Why bank? Do you see any number check here? And some more, is it possible that you go to bookstore, you tear off a check, you open a check and give it to the seller? Is it possible you pay for the books by using check? No ma. So you need to pay by using tunai. Okay, then tunai, you pay money. AS, getting less. Credit side. And you're buying pen and pencil. Pen and pencil, stationery, in Malay, how we call it? Not alatan pejabat lah. Alatan pejabat is office equipment, those electrical items like laptop, printer, photostat machine. Yes, it is alat tulis. And what is the classification of alat tulis? You buy your stationery to use, right? Not keep, right? You buy it to use, not ABS, not asset at all, because asset can be only whatever that you can keep. But are you going to keep your stationery? You buy stationery to use. After use it, it will use up. It's consumable. After use it, it's gone already. So it's more to your expenses, not asset, not property at all. So what's the klasifikasi? Belanja. And you are spending money on the belanja expenses of your alat tulis. That means the money that you spend on the alat tulis is getting more or less. The expenses on the alat tulis on the stationery is getting more or less more. Belanja getting more, debit. So first account tunai, second account alat tulis. And tunai should keep for buku tunai, right? That's why just now we mentioned keep for buku tunai ma. And later, when you credit tunai, what should you write inside? Should be alat tulis. And what is the value? The actual value that you have to pay is actually 93 only, not 100, not 7, because total actual value is 93. You don't have small changes. That's why you pay him 100 ringgit and they give you changes of 7 ringgit. So take the actual value jumlah. Okay, record into buku tunai. Credit 14 for your tunai 93 and bukti right alat tulis. Okay, the next one is keratan check again. This one we get familiar already. We saw in the first document already. So I ran through it quickly lah. Whenever see keratan check, check ini. First account always be bank. Bank is AS. Keratan check, that means you tear off your check and give it to someone else. That means you're paying money. Money is getting lesser. So credit. But the main point here is you saw others' name, right? You saw pemborong Huanying, right? I think we written pemborong Huanying for twice, right? Why we write somebody's name? Because we owe him money lah. Because we need to pay him in future, right? So, some more, we saw that we pay for hutang. Hutang means secara credit. Secara credit can only be referring to either ABB or ABT. And you are paying money now. You can only pay money for ABB or ABT. You can only pay money for ABB or ABT. AB? B, because pay money in Malay we call as bayar ma. You can only pay for whatever haven't paid. Bayar for belum bayar only. So you can only pay for ABB. In second account is ABB. But we know that we cannot write as ABB. We need to write specific name. Pemborong Huanying. And back to the klasifikasi of ABB. Belum bayar means you should pay, but you haven't paid. Your debts. What is the klasifikasi when we call debts? Liability, and you should pay within 1 year LS. But now you are paying your money. After your payment, your ABB is getting more or less. Your belum bayar after your payment is getting less. LS getting less debit side. So one debit, one credit. And first account bank, second account ABB, and bank always keep it for buku tunai. So record this in buku tunai. Credit bank, by right you should write ABB, but replace it with specific name. And the value always be checked in here. But one more thing to check. Whenever you see hutang, you need to check the term in front there to see any discount or not. And then mention sebahagian means you pay for partial. If you pay for partial part of it already, do you need to pay for the rest? If you claim that you pay for only part of it, do you need to pay for the balance? Yes or no? You only pay part of your debts. How about the rest? Do you need to pay for the rest in future? Yes, that means can we treat the rest of the discount? No, right? That means if sebahagian, there's no discount. But if it is sepenuh, you pay for the whole thing, then there might be discount the balance that you don't need to pay. Okay, now record into your buku tunai. Credit your bank. On 18. Credit bank for 1,500. Bukti right as pemborong Huanying. Okay, then nota credit. This one I think we know it already, right? Is to minus. And nota credit, same as nota debit, can only be secara credit. And we got salinan copy, means we are pembekal. And it will be jualan secara credit. Jualan secara credit, we sell, haven't received money. Short form ABT. But we have to replace it with others name, Zorawe. Okay, secara credit, haven't received money yet. So cannot be your buku tunai ringgit at all. Then check for your jana khas lah. Secara credit, yes. And it is baju again. Our inventory again. So it is for jana khas. But which jana khas? Jalan or pulangan jalan? Is jalan or pulangan jalan? Jalan? Sure? Are you sure it's only jalan? I underline the hints for you already. Are you confirmed that it is jalan only? You got minus. Some more you mentioned nota credit already. And we mentioned it just now already. We summarized everything already. Jalan or pulangan jalan? Yes, it's pulangan jalan. Okay. So record it in pulangan jalan. Means you need to prepare one more jana khas. Jana pulangan jalan. Then record the details. Okay, receipt rasmi. Whenever say receipt, that means payment done already lah. Payment done means you pay money, receive money already. But we cannot call it as a cara tunai, yeah? Because the cara tunai can only referring to bill tonight. This one, no. This is the payment for ABB before. Payment for ABT before. And we got salinan, means we are pembekal. And pembekal is supposed to receive money, right? Seller ma. And we got number check here. So it is account bank. AS, receive money, money is getting more. So debit bank. Then later, you find that, oh, you got Zora Way again. And we saw Zora Way many times already, right? Few times already, right? And this is our ABT, right? Some more, we saw Hutang. Hutang is either ABB or ABT. And we are receiving money. We can only receive money from ABT. But change the ABT become Zora Way. And the ABT klasifikasi AS. After receive money, your belum terima balance is getting less. So put into credit side. So first account bank, second account ABT. Bank always keep it for buku tunai. So later, debit bank supposed to write ABT inside, but change to Zora Way. And check one more thing. Sebahagian means no discount. Okay, record into buku tunai. On 22nd, debit bank by 1,500, bukti right Zora Way. Without discount. Okay, then two more document. Voucher pembayaran. From the document name here. Pembayaran means we pay money. Some more voucher always be paying money, yeah? Because this is a summary document for the accountant to summarize the whole thing, summarize maybe the receipt, summarize the order list, because there are too much of information that we don't need. We make it a small summary to straight away know that what are we paying for, what are we receiving for. That means there's no sound, no salinan copy. Don't need. Okay. Then we pay money by using bank because we saw number check here. So first account bank, bank AS, pay money, money is getting lesser. So record into credit side. Then secondly, you pay for what? You pay for sever. So second account is sever. As long as you are paying money, you are spending money. So it is belanja. And you're spending money on server, so your spending on server is getting more. Debit side. So first account bank, second account server. Bank record in buku tunai. So later, credit your bank, bukti right as server. Okay, and record 25. Credit bank by 5,500. Bukti right as server. Okay, finally the last one. Okay, this one I slow down a little bit. Invoice secara kredit. Asal means pembeli. So it is belian secara kredit. And belian secara kredit, we buy haven't pay, short form ABB, but we cannot write ABB. We need to write others name. Kedai kenderaan Toloda. Then it is not for buku tunai, not for buku tunai ringgit because no payment yet. But can we record into journal khas? The ultimate question for this document. Can we record this document into journal khas? Can we? Can we record this in journal khas? It meets the first requirements of secara kredit. How about inventory? Does it meet? Is it our inventory? Is it our product that we are selling in this question? No. So can we record into journal khas? No. Then where to record? Where to record? Not for journal khas. Then throw into the tong sampah, the rubbish bin, the trash bin. We call it as what tong sampah? Haven't paid, haven't received money, not buku tunai, not buku tunai ringgit, then not meeting the requirement for journal khas, then only for journal am. And record in the journal am, you need at least 2 accounts, one in debit, one in credit. We buying when? When considered as kenderaan. Kenderaan klasifikasi ABS. You're buying a car is getting more, debit side. Then another account, you buy car, but you haven't paid. As long as you buy, haven't paid, ABB. But you have to change the kedai kenderaan total lah. ABB klasifikasi LS because you buy, haven't paid. Your debts is getting more, credit side. So record this whole thing into journal am. So you need to debit on 27, debit kenderaan, credit kedai kenderaan Toyota, 20,000 each. And it is obviously debit equals to credit, right? So don't need to write the total again. Just write the sentence. Just summarize the transaction. We buying a car. So we mentioned here membeli kenderaan, but we haven't paid. So keep it as secara credit. That's it. That's it, the transaction for this question. So journal arm, as long as you keep it as debit credit the same for all the transaction, draw a full line to close it. For journal khas, I only demo one because the logic to close all the journal khas will be the same. First step, calculate the total, show the total. No matter it is one or multiple value, although there is only one value, for example, your journal jualan, there's only one value, 2,900. You still need to show it one more time. Because need to keep at least one value in debit, one account, one value in credit later. So then the total for journal balance is 2,230. And you can only get the total end of the month after everything has been recorded. So it will be 31st January. Okay, the key point here, take note, I purposely slow it down. For journal khas, no matter what journal khas is it, as long as you copy down the journal name, change the journal, become account. That's how you need to write when you close your journal khas. So now tell me, if I'm closing journal balance, what should I write here? What should I write here if it is journal balance? Yes, account balance. And the last step, find out whether it's debit and credit. Berlian klasifikasi. Belanja mah, right? Because you need to spend your money out to buy something. So belanja should record into debit side. That's how you close each of your journal has. So the rest, the total, the date, you know, right? Okay, then when you want to close journal jualan, what should you write inside here? If it is journal jualan, what to write here? You need to write account jualan. If it is journal pulangan jualan, what to write here? It will be it will be account pulangan jualan. And the debit credit, you need to referring to the 3 sentences that we learned before. Lor. Okay, then I only explain the harder one. What's the function for pulangan? To add or minus? The function of pulangan is only to minus. That's the only function for pulangan. And the klasifikasi only rely on the jualan. And what is the klasifikasi of jualan? Jualan klasifikasi? Jualan means to sell mah. Sell you will have income mah. So what's the klasifikasi of jualan? Your sales income. Klasifikasi of jualan? Hasil. Minus hasil, debit or credit? Minus hasil. Minus hasil. Huh? Ya meh? Minus hasil. Think carefully. Think twice. A, B, C, D, and also minus record into opposite side. So minus hasil, debit or credit? Huh? Why is still credit? Answer me. Hasil by right record into debit or credit? A, B, C, D, and now we got H. Debit or credit? Hasil by right should be in debit or credit. Wait hasil only. Hasil itself by right debit or credit? A, B, C, D, and now we got H. Hasil itself by right debit or credit? By right credit. When minus? When minus? Then become debit. Okay, so these 3, I leave it as a homework. Figure out by your own to practice. For buku tunai, we don't have the time to close it lah. It's okay. We learned it in the class already, and we will continue the lesson in the class. Okay, so that's all for today. If anyone want to take picture, you can take picture for the answer now. Okay, we can take picture now. Okay, then next page, journal has, and also next page of document. Okay, then buku tunai. And one more page for document. Oh, no, there are 2 more page. 2 more pages, okay. I minimize them so you can take picture all at once. Okay, then if there's no question, then see you in the class. Okay, bye-bye.